Accra to the world we bring it. Fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Only on GhanaTalks radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show. When you see cause on there, where the spark inside the flame, from the first light to the last mile, stay with us so wide. GhanaTalks breakfast show.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star.
Thank God it's Friday and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station you can carry along wherever you go. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do well to join us this morning right here on the morning show. And this morning we are bringing you the news review, the beach grill, and also global observances of the day. You need to know what is going on. You need to know what the world is observing today. And right here on the news review, bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on matters that matter to everyone right here on the show. My name is still Ruth Esinam Fiagbadu, and I'm elated to share breakfast with you, or distributes breakfast this morning with Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning to you, ladies, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Miss Debbie, hope all is well.
Yeah, that is good.
Right. Rich Hunty. No, it's not Rich Hunty. Rich Hunty. How are you?
I'm good by grace aside.
Yeah, I'm doing well. This morning, they're looking at how you are looking shapely. That means that we are sponsoring us breakfast this morning.
Who?
And I'll say, who te? Right, so this morning, we have a rich auntie in our midst. And you know that rich aunties, when they come, the whole family is actually excited. They're here to give you money. They're here to give you money, to give you breakfast. So write in the comment section today, Miss Regina Bless is giving us breakfast. She's sponsoring breakfast. So tell us what you want for breakfast this morning. Just put it in the comment section. You might not know. You'll be there now. Pepe delivery.
That means today you are ready for fasting with that.
Right. This is still the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. You're streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Let's get into the details. Let's let you know what is happening in the world of politics, business, or whatsoever. Right, let's get into our first news item. Ghana rejects reported $18 million South Africa bill over evacuation of nationals. Ghana has rejected reports that it could be asked to pay about $18 million to South Africa for the evacuation of Ghanaian nationals following recent xenophobic attacks. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says Ghana fully funded the reparation of its citizens and did not request financial or material assistance from the South African government. The ministry said more than 1,600 Ghanaians have been evacuated from South Africa since May 2026, with the latest phase of the exercise also being financed by the Ghanaian government and Ghanaian partners. Beyond transportation, the government says returnees have received reintegration support, transport fares, and other relief items upon arrival. The clarification follows reports that South Africa was seeking reimbursement from some African countries for costs associated with facilitating the evacuation of their nationals. However, Ghana insists it will not be among the countries asked to reimburse South Africa, stressing that it bore the cost of bringing its citizens home. The ministry has also reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to protecting Ghanaians abroad and taking timely action whenever their safety and security are threatened. So yesterday we saw a report from the South African, and that Ghana has to reimburse them 18 million US dollars for the money that they assisted them to evacuate and also repatriate their citizens to the country. And yesterday, from reports from the Foreign Affairs Minister, he says that we don't have any money to give to you people, and now we don't owe you any money. The country took that course with the government and also some Ghanaian partners. So please, you said we should go back to our country. We are back into our country, and now you are. It looks like you are passing false information that we owe you. Please, we don't owe you, Miss Debbie. This is coming from the Foreign Affairs Ministry. We don't owe the go back people any money, so they should get their facts right. This is what he says.
When I saw that yesterday, I laughed. And so long as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is concerned, I'm sure if there was something like that, they would have communicated with us that the South African helped us. The only thing I remembered was, even before we repatriated our people, they were asking us to pay them before they will allow our people go. And they didn't do that to only Ghanaians. They did that to other African citizens that found themselves in South Africa. So I don't know what the South African they are about. I don't know what they are about, and I don't know what exactly they want. You didn't help anybody. You sucked people from your country, and then now you want us to pay you for what exactly? That you helped? Did you help in purchasing? In hiring their flight for these people? Did you pay for their flights? No. All these monies were being paid by the government of these various countries. So when we take Ghana, for instance, it was being paid by the government. Although it is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that has become the intermediary between the government and these Ghanaian citizens who found themselves in Africa. So whatever fund that was used to cater for these people passes through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but the funds come directly from the state coffers, so automatically it belongs to the government. So you cannot tell us that you helped us. And I even saw a video where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said even the Church of Pentecost helped them in a way. That their church that was in South Africa was used to house Ghanaians in South Africa. So it should tell you that aside government support, we still have individual institutions that also help the government with funds, with cash, because when you listen to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, that is what he said, with cash and also with other social amenities, so like put it that way, and even some basic stuffs like blankets and all that. Aside the government even helping these people when they arrived right here in Ghana, we still have other people. We have the likes of Ibrahim Mahama, who supported some of these citizens, offered them jobs so that they don't become handicapped. So you don't sit in your country and then you make it look as if they own you. I saw another one where they also brought out another directive that they want to take money from other African countries, with the exception of Ghana. I'm saying, you cannot just say anything at all and then you add us. We are not going to take. As for that, it's as if it's an insult. This is a case where we have people who stayed in South Africa for their whole life. Some of them has even built a future there. In a way, they have a business avenue there. Some of them have even built a house. Like, it's just like a foreigner coming here, being successful, and then establishing him or herself. And then at the end of the year, you are sucking these people. And trust me, a building is something that you cannot travel. You cannot travel with. A vehicle is something you cannot travel with. You just have to leave it behind. So these people, a lot of them are going to trauma. Something that you've built for about a number of years, you just left it behind, and then you come back to your country with an empty hand. And all these people are crying. They might not face you physically, but trust me, it will come back to haunt you in the near future. This is not something that can easily be erased. It is something that is going to affect the future generation of South Africa. So we don't owe them a 10 peswa. We don't.
Yeah. We don't owe them a 10 peswa. We don't. And also hearing from the government, it says that the country bore its own course to evacuate the Ghanaians living in South Africa right back into the country with some Ghanaian partners. And you and I can attest that even when the evacuees even got to the airport, you saw, I think, the likes of Airtel, Tigo, MTN, Vodafone, Nadmo, and some other independent organization donating to these people, to the extent of even giving them food. Does that mean that all this as well is from South Africa? And
because MTN is for them.
And one question I keep asking is, if you wanted these people to go, or if you wanted to like spend money on these people, why didn't you deport them? Rather, you said they should go back to their country, or the government should come for these people. If you wanted to spend money on them, you could have just deported them straight, given them airplane or something, means of transport to come back right into their country. But rather, you said they should go back to their country, and also called on the government to come for 8 people, of which the government did. And now you say the government, oh, you go back. Miss Gina, go back.
And we are finally back to our country. Okay, so looking at the issue between African countries and South Africa, I think it is becoming unbecoming, and should I say, the South Africans are becoming too comfortable in friend is saying they are becoming too comfortable in ways by demeaning other African countries. And looking at this payment of a thing, it started way back when they started with the go back to your country of a thing. And now that most of the African countries have evacuated their people, they are still on it. I feel like they want to say something, but they are just cutting corners. If you want the government of any African country to pay you for the time these people have lived in your country, go ahead and say it. If you are broke, go ahead and say it, because that is how I am seeing it. Just last week, a survey, according to some of the South African researchers, they said the unemployment rate in South Africa has increased. I think they said it's increased by 3 or 5 something percent.
Yeah, I'm not the businessman.
And I also saw a video that was last month of one man making a video of how deserted and abandoned the some parts of South Africa is looking. And as a Ghanaian, I was a bit worried, because if it happens to Ghanaians, it means that automatically our economy would be really affected. And he said that this is the repercussion, or this is the consequences of the actions of these people. Since they are not thinking, they will be feeling it very soon. Because almost 90% of the shops in South Africa have been closed down. And when we talk of the economy deals with a lot of factors. It doesn't deal with only one factor. It deals with a lot of factors. And employment is one of them. People trading day in and day out is one of them. It's a way that stabilizes the economy. So now you've sacked the people. How are you going to thrive? Your people themselves are not even working in their own country. At least you had people come into your country to trade, and you are sacking them. when we talk of Ghana's economy being stabilized, I always say that we shouldn't always applaud Ghanaians. We have foreigners living in this country.
In the country as well.
Exactly, who have huge businesses, and they're also contributing to the stabilization of the economy. So to the South Africans, I don't really know what their problem is. As I'm saying, probably they are broke. Now that a lot of Africans have left the country, maybe they are broke. They've got to check their coffers and there's nothing there. So let's find ways and means to extort money or take money from these African countries. But I'm happy with the fact that our Foreign Affairs Minister Okudzeto Ablakwa has come out to debunk that.
Immediately.
There's no way Ghana can be included in it. Because looking at all the relief items that were given to these people, it should tell you that Ghana is ever ready to accept their people back. And mind you, a huge sum of money went into whatever they are doing.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, each person is taking 5,000. We don't know how true that is. But if it is indeed 5,000, now just imagine all the 1,600 people that were repatriated back to Ghana. So I'm happy with the fact that he has debunked that. And South Africans, they should be very careful.
Very, very, very careful. Very careful. And we as a Ghanaian, we are very peaceful people, and we've not even planned to even retaliate, but we leave you in the hands of God. God will deal with you people. Let's proceed to our next. Oh, but did I lie? God will we don't do that.
Relax
Me
now.
jao manyame.
Oh yes, come
Yeah,
on,
yes, that is our national anthem. Me jao manyame. That's it. So we
and
leave
it
you
works
for
like
God.
magic.
Yeah, we leave it for God. We leave it for God. Let's proceed to our next news item. New excise duty could hurt jobs and investment. Accra Bureau Limited has urged the government to postpone the implementation of the newly approved increases in excise duty on locally produced beer, arguing that the measures could increase production costs, push up consumer prices, and affect jobs and investment. Speaking at the Association of Ghana Industries second quarter business barometer presentation in Ghana, ABL country director called for further consultation between government and industry before the new rates take effect under the approved reforms. Excise duty on locally manufactured beer is expected to increase from 32.5% to 40%, while beer products with high raw local materials content, including cassava-based beer, will see a sharper increase from 10% to 25%. The rate on imported beer will remain at 47.5%. The director said the impact of the increases would go beyond manufacturers, potentially affecting production costs, consumer prices, demand, investment, and employment across the brewing industry and its wider supply chain. ABR is particularly concerned about the increase on locally sourced products, arguing that higher taxes on cassava-based beer could affect farmers and businesses that supply raw materials to the industry. The company stressed that it is not opposed to taxation or government effort to raise revenue, but wants a balance between revenue mobilization and economic growth. ABO is therefore calling for further stakeholder engagement and a postponement of implementation to allow government and industry to assess the economic impact and develop measures that protect jobs, investment, local manufacturing, and agricultural linkages. So this is coming from the Accra Bureau Limited, and they are urging the government to postpone the implementation of the newly approved increases in excise duty on locally produced beer. And when I read this, one thing that came to mind, it's not based on facts, but it's based on my assumption. Maybe the government wants people to stop drinking alcohol. That is why they had to put a lot of tax on that. But as I said earlier, it's just an assumption. It's not based on facts. Miss Regina?
Yeah.
Yes. So ABL is asking government to, hold a proper stakeholder engagement and with these industries, and also postpone the increase of the excise duty on locally produced beer. When it happens like that, it's going to affect jobs, it's going to affect demands, and the farmers as well, and also investment.
Okay, so in as much as they are complaining about the excise duty, they are saying it would affect demand. It will not affect demand because Ghanaians are ever ready, no matter how they increase on beer or any alcoholic beverage, they will buy it. I think we had this discussion about excise duty this month.
Yeah, I think when the finance minister read the mid-year budget,
yes, and they said they'll reduce it. And
for
juice.
I think
for
imported,
juice.
Yes, for juice.
Imported, that was specifically for imported
juice.
Yeah, something of that sort.
Oh, and I learned the locally made juice as well.
Read about the locally made juice. And looking at the past administration, they introduced it, and to them, I remember Ms. Debbie saying that most their main aim was to reduce or discourage most of the youth from indulging in alcohol. See, there are certain things, there are certain essentials. I'm not saying alcohol is essential, but there are certain essentials in life that no matter how you people should relax.
You can't do without.
You can't do without.
Oh, but you don't necessarily have to take.
My dear, the men in this studio can't do without alcohol.
Okay, I think I get where you're coming from.
Yesterday you saw some.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't sell them out.
I'm not selling anybody else.
She has already sold them.
Men don't drink alcohol.
You drink
Obianum alcohol. Obianum. What is it?
Let's proceed.
So as I'm saying, men especially can't do without it, because that is how, should I say, they've channeled or they've re-engineered their system to be. So no matter how it is being increased, they will still buy it. But I learned they have alcohol association in Ghana. They will come out and protest that, oh, this, that. But looking at the positive aspect of it, I think not the positive aspect, the negative aspect, that is the increment of it. As he said, it would your friend is saying, discourage other people from buying it. Probably, I know Obiana is interested in alcohol. Other people don't buy it to drink, but they buy it to sell it.
Yeah.
And if you are selling, let's say, beer at a price of, I don't know how much they say, but let's say 15 cedis or 20 cedis, and another person comes and today you are selling it like this, and the next day you come, oh, Pacho, you have to more 30 cedis. They'll start complaining. But they will buy it. They will buy. Complain that you complain, but they will still buy it. So now that they've come out to talk, maybe the finance minister can do something about it, adjust it, but it is already proposed, and let's see how it goes. But increment or no increment, they'll still buy the alcohol.
They'll still buy it, but they are pleading on the government to postpone it, hold a proper stakeholder engagement, and so they can see how they can actually go about this. Ms. Debbie, your thoughts on this?
So in a way, I agree with them, because with the big companies, they're not going to really experience its adverse effect. Companies that make bigger sales will not feel anything when these excise prices are being increased, and that is because no matter how expensive it is, you will still have people who come in to buy in bulk from them. But let's take a look at these local industries. Most of them finance themselves. They don't have any extended helpers anywhere, like government coming in to help or protect them. And so when this happens, it becomes higher price, lower sale. So you are forced to increase the prices of whatever you sell. I can't go and buy maybe a bag of drink from you in a very expensive price, and then with the excise duty, and then you expect me to sell it at a lower price. Then it's like I'm making loss. And then I think I can also vividly remember that the first time we did a discussion, Regina made an example of a Kumfi juice, where she said that she bought it and then
And it was a different pineapple juice.
Okay, different pineapple juice, and because they did something like rebrand or something,
and it was 10 cedis initially, and it jumped to 30 cedis.
So I feel like they, if it is locally made, they could have sold it at a lower price, but the taxes they pay on this is so huge, and sometimes the government take these taxes because they want to discourage import. They want to make imported goods more expensive and then make this local goods quite cheap. But it looks as if they take the taxes on this usually consume juices and all stuff, but at the end of the day the situation is still remains the same. And it's not only on drinks, cosmetics, vehicles and other stuffs as well, but it's usually common on drinks because people buy drink every day. You send a child to school, you buy drink in his or her bag so that they will have snack. So it is something that everybody consume like each and every day. Among the population of 1,000 people, you'll get 99% who consume drink a day. It includes either this what's the name? Calipo or maybe alcoholic beverages. So I feel like with the alcohol side, they just want to lower the intake of alcohol. But as we are all saying, no matter how expensive it is, we still have people who do not care coming to you to borrow money. And borrow money to buy alcohol. Yes, to buy alcohol instead of you to eat, you're buying. So that is how clingy these people are into alcohol. When you go to Uganda, they brought out a new rule. I was telling yesterday, you can't take alcohol after you can only take alcohol after 3 p.m.
Yes, I saw that news.
After 3 p.m. Uganda. And when you are a shop owner and then they find out that you are selling alcohol in the morning as early as 7, what they also but
that's their job.
No, it is their job, but it hurts the government. I'm saying this because the person it's your life. No matter how you live your life, it's none of anybody's business. But the government also have a sole responsibility of you being a citizen in this country. If today you get booze and then you go about and mistakenly a vehicle knock you down, it is at the expense of the government. Can't road crashes now. Yes, and then it becomes a dent on the image of the country. So it is the sole responsibility of the government to ensure that the right thing is being done. And it looks as if Uganda, the alcohol level is just too much. Even kids are dabbling into alcohol, so they just have to bring a stop to it. And I like it when you're being caught, the shop will be closed, you'll be arrested. The person coming to buy the drink will also be arrested. So you can only take it after 3 p.m. That is because from 5 to 3 you should find yourself a suitable job to do to earn money.
You should be in the office or you should be somewhere busy working.
To be moving from one bar to the other.
Oh, Uganda free. People's job.
South Africa should also introduce that.
That one, but for them they
can't.
Unless they like it.
It's their norm. It's like it's their culture.
Even from their movies, you
can actually tell that these
chilling.
Yes, and then the women takes care of the men.
Yankoswe. Mama allocates funds to complete 35 Agenda 111 hospitals this year. President John Dramani Mahama says government has allocated funds to complete 35 Agenda 111 hospital projects across the country this year. According to the president, the selected projects are about 70% complete or more and have been prioritized for completion before the end of 2026. Speaking during his tour of the Upper East region, President Mahama said his administration will not abandon viable projects started by the previous government, stressing that government is a continuous process. He says funds are available for contractors to return to the site and complete the 35 facilities. Government also plans to prioritize another 20 hospital projects that are at least 50% complete in 2027, particularly in districts without adequate health facilities. President Mahama said completing the project would prevent taxpayers' money already invested in the facilities from going to waste and ensure that the hospitals deliver the intended health benefits to communities. And we all know that the Agenda 111 was a project that was initiated under the previous administration of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and was designed to construct 111 hospitals across the country with particular focuses on districts without hospitals. And unfortunately, we don't actually know what happened. That project wasn't able to be executed or completed. And President John Dramani Mahama has taken it upon himself and also on his government to complete some of the hospitals. 35 hospitals to be completed, which are at least 70% done, and 20 more hospitals, which are at least 50% equally done. And according to reports, the government is equally collaborating with churches. We've seen the SDA Church come on board to collaborate with the government to make sure that some of the hospitals are being completed. So it's a continuous government. If you're not able to complete it, when I come on board, I'll complete it. I actually wish that we have leaders like this who will continue this task, so we don't see some classrooms and some projects left in the bush and abandoned. Miss Gina? Okay. Mama.
Mahama de ka. Okay, so this is something that needs to be normalized, and it shouldn't be surprising when a current administration is to continue a stalled or neglected or abandoned project by the past administration. I'm not saying the past administration neglected Agenda 111, but it is an example I'm making. We've seen instances where most of these political parties have their differences, and I don't know, after commissioning or probably the credit, who does it go to? Most of the times this is their banter. But one thing we should let them know is it is taxpayers' money, and when it comes to taxpayers' money, it shouldn't be wasted in any way. So I'll say kudos to President John Dramani Mahama. He has really exhibited the true definition of who a leader is. Looking at the Agenda 111 project, it was introduced basically to help us with our health facilities, easy access to healthcare, especially in some of the rural areas. And I think it would be a very good thing if it is being able to your friend is, if they're able to establish it, if they're able to complete it totally. At the end of the day, the government itself almost because there will be no issue of now no birth syndrome. Exactly. Looking at the hospitals we have around, and currently it is jammed up. Let me put it that way. It is jammed up. I say I am Obia sorry a one or Kobia sorry a one oko. It is here now they'll bring and introduce at Agenda 111. Now you just go there, you enter, your friends said they take care of you and you leave. So I think it's a good thing, and I'm just waiting for the day to be commissioned. I want to see how it will be commissioned,
and if they are going to call former president.
Yes,
also
I want to see that. If they don't call him MPP,
hey, they're going to take off the head of the NDC government.
Yes,
and this is equally going to employ nurses as well.
Yeah,
so it's going to create jobs. Miss Debbie.
Government is about continuity. Any government that comes on board and they start with a project, it is expected that the next government that takes over needs to ensure that those projects are completed, because it is a taxpayers' money. These are not a project that are being funded by individuals or maybe the government as a sole body, but it is funds that are being taken from the taxes we pay, and so we need to see the benefit of that taxes we pay. It will become useless if we pay taxes and then we still have to struggle when we go to the hospital, and there is nowhere for you want to be treated when you are sick, you go to the hospital and then they tell you that the hospital is full, and so patient needs to lie on the bed floor. You go and then they tell that the emergency ward is full, there are no beds. Those are things that needs to be sorted out. So yes, the step President Mahama is taking is a good one. I just hope that he will be able to complete it before his term ends, and also fulfill his mandate, because you shouldn't forget that he also made promises that needs to be fulfilled. So it shouldn't be as if you are fulfilling somebody's promise and then you totally forget about your own mandate. So as you are preparing to cover up someone's mess, I'm not saying it's a mess, but that is the only English that I don't know how to put it, but it is their mess. So they should fix it. In as much as you are trying your possible best to fix their mess, you should also ensure that so make sure you cover it up before it becomes something else. Because trust me, if they want to mention what you have done, and they wouldn't mention Agenda 111 will always be an initiative under the NPP. Yeah, so you should ensure that your own is also completed.
But it will still be on record that
of
President
course.
John Dramani Mahama came to complete some of the hospitals. Yes, I think this should actually be something that we should cultivate, a habit that we should cultivate, that we have to understand that government is actually continuous, and it is taxpayers' money that they've actually used to start the project. Just imagine you investing into a project and then you come back and then you find out that that project isn't completed and it's left, and then the question you keep asking yourself is, yes. So now that we are seeing this current administration taking over the abandoned project of the previous administration, I think it's a good call, and at least we are going to see the projects being completed, and it's going to be put in a great use. It's going to create employment for the contractors and also for the nurses as well, and also for people living in the communities as which these hospitals will be built or brought up or established. It's going to be an all-round employment for everybody to benefit from, and I hope and pray that we should continue on this tangent as a country, that if you're a leader or if you are voted into power and then you come and you see an abandoned project of which you think that is going to help the country and also help a large number of people, why not? You should just take it upon yourself and add it to the already promise you've promised to the people. And who knows, if you are unable to complete yours, someone will also come in and complete yours for you. Government is continuous. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the news review. Up next, we have global observances from Miss Regina Bless.
Morning, bringing you some global observances live on GhanaTalks breakfast show. I answer to the name Regina Bless. Today we have Social Security Day. National Social Security Day commemorates the historic signing of the United States Social Security Act into law by President Franklin on this day, 1935. It honors the creation of a crucial financial safety net designed to protect retirees, individuals with disabilities, and surviving family members from poverty. We also have Military Marriage Day to honor and support active duty and retired military couples. It celebrates the commitment and resilience required to sustain a marriage through deployment, relocation, and service. Today is also observed as National Financial Awareness Day. It is a day to review your personal budgets, check your spending habits, and learn basic ways to save and invest money for the future. Today is also observed as World Lizard Day. It is a special day to learn about, appreciate, and protect the more than 6,000 species of lizards found around the world, from tiny geckos to massive Komodo dragons. So don't stone a lizard when you see one today. Better still, pet them. We also have National Tattoo Removal Day. It raises awareness about modern laser technology, celebrates fresh starts, and highlights the safety and efficacy of removing unwanted ink. And lastly, Shop Online for Groceries Day. It highlights the ease of ordering food and household essentials online, saving time, avoiding long queues, and helping shoppers stick to their budgets without impulse buying. So don't go out for shopping today. Do that online and save time and impulse buying. And that's all for today for Global Observance, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for global observances of the day. And today she says that we should pet lizard. So if you see a lizard, don't stone it. Make it your pet. But you and I know that the choice is yours. Thank you so much, Miss Regina. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. The New Patriotic Party has scheduled Saturday, October 3 for its national executive elections, setting nomination fees between 8,000 for special wings and 50,000 for the national chairmanship position. Announcing the timetable at a press conference, the chair of the National Election Committee, Honorable Pari Ansah, disclosed that the internal electoral process will commence with the opening of nominations from August 17 to August 22. Aspirants would subsequently file their completed nomination forms between August 23 and August 27. Under the timetable released by the committee, the vetting of aspirants will take place from September 1 to September 3, followed by the publication of vetting results on September 5. The committee will receive appeals on September 6 and 7 ahead of a meeting of the National Executive Committee and the National Council on September 10 to approve qualified aspirants. According to the committee, candidates contesting the national chair position will pay a nomination fee of 50,000, while those eyeing vice chair positions are required to pay 30,000. Aspirant for the general secretary post will pay 25,000, and nominations fees for all other national positions have been fixed at 10,000. Candidates competing for positions in the special wings comprising the Nasara women and youth wings will pay 8,000. The former Suwu Member of Parliament assured all aspirants that the upcoming polls will be conducted in a free, fair and transparent manner under the supervision of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, supported by the MPP's Internal Elections Committee. Honorable Pari Ansah noted that the outcome of the national elections will ultimately determine whether the party is fully prepared for the 2028 general election. So the New Patriotic Party yesterday revealed that they are has scheduled the MPP national executive elections for October 3. And then one of the shocking things that was revealed was the amount of money you need to pay for the nomination form. So just as I stated, if you are vying for special wings in the party, you are supposed to pay 8,000 as an individual. If you are vying for the chairmanship position, you are paying for 50,000. This is for nomination form. So campaign money is not part. How you are going to convince the people to vote for you, how you are going to sell yourself, it is not part. This is just for nomination. And also 30,000 for vice chairmanship position and 25 for secretary position. Now let's look at this. let's take a look at the MPP National Executive Nomination from 2022 to 2026. So in 2022, the national chairperson, back then in 2022, when they started the executive elections, when you are going to pay for the form or buy the form, the nomination form, it was 20,000 for the chairmanship position. Now in 2026, it's 50,000. So it means that there's been an addition of 30,000 Ghana cedis, which is, when we are putting it in a percentage form, it means 150%. And then when we come to the national vice chairperson, in 2022, it was 15,000. In 2026, it is 30,000. So this has been an increase of 15,000, and in percentage from 100%. This is quite huge. And then when we look at the general secretary in 2022, the nomination form was going for 10,000 in 2022. In 2026, it has increased to 25,000, which means there'll be an increase of 15,000. So 150%. And then when we come to the national treasurer, in 2022, the nomination form, the fee for the nomination form for the national treasurer was 8,000, and then in 2026 it has increased to 10,000. So there's been an increment of 2,000, and that is 25%. And then when we come to the national organizer, in 2022 it was 8,000. It was also 8,000, but in 2026 it has been increased to 10,000, which means there's been an increase of 2,000. And then so percentage in all this has to do with 25%. And then when we come to the communication director for the party, in 2022 the nomination form was also 8,000. In 2026 it has increased to 10,000, which means that there's been an increment of 2,000 and also 25%. So if you look at this from the chairman position, which is increase of 30,000, vice chair 15,000, general secretary 15,000, the national treasurer 2,000, national organizer 2,000, communication director 2,000. So this is quite very, very huge, and the gap there is very, very wide. Now the question that everybody keeps asking is this telling a story of a broke party? Is the MPP doing this because they feel like they need to gather enough money for maybe future elections? And as well, let's look at this. Wouldn't this be a hindrance to others in the party? So we have people that might have the capability to lead in the party. We have people that might have the vision to lead in the party. But because their finances is not solid enough, wouldn't this be a hindrance for them? Or maybe it wouldn't be, they'll still have people to support them. Now, that aside, what is the signal for others who have an interest in holding a position in the party in the near future? So what does this signal? So in relation to the second question, we have people who have the capability, we have people who are willing, okay, to hold position in the party. But look at this. From 30,000 to 50,000. That is huge. If you don't have the money, it means you cannot be a politician right here in Ghana. And I'm not disputing the fact that I'm not trying to rubbish whatever they are doing. That is the party. That is what the party is stating. And if that is why the floor has been opened. If you are interested, you go to pick a form. But here lies the case. You see, there have been instances where we've been talking about monetization of when it comes to politics and monetization. It's a whole lot. It's just a whole lot. And you see, I've had people telling me that it's because the MPP is in opposition, so they want to gather some money so that they can hold election in the near future. I don't know how true that is. But you and I can attest to the fact that anytime a party is in opposition, I mean, their financial status is not that solid enough because your party is not in power. It is different from a party that is already in power. But what I want us to focus on is the amount of money that is being required of this aspiring candidates or people who have the interest. you have to pay 8,000, 50,000. You see, when I saw that, one thing that came in mind was, I was like, oh, so it means we really have money in this country, because trust me, we will still have people that will buy the form. We will still have people that will buy the form. As to where you are going to get that money from, I mean, in the way no one really cares. The most important thing is that the form is being bought, and we have a lot of people who are contesting for more than one position in the party. So if you are going to pay such a huge sum of money, I mean, campaign, you are supposed to campaign as well. And we know how it is when it has to do with campaign right here in Ghana. I mean, you need to sort people out, transportation and all that. And all this are also money. All these things are money. And yesterday I've heard some resource people speak, and then they were like, yes, in as much as everybody felt like, oh, the amount is kind of outrageous or something, that is the rule of the party. That is what the party is stating. And that is why it's not as if they are pressuring it on the neck of someone to come and take a form. If you are interested, you go and take it. But this is what they are saying. And you see, when you buy a form and you don't win, it's none of anybody's business. But the thing is this not quite too expensive? I mean, I'm not saying there shouldn't be increase. There can be some sort of increase. But then at least it shouldn't be that well, I know someone will be like, oh, are you in the pockets of this aspiring candidate? Yes, I might not be in their pockets, but at least we should also consider people who have the intelligence, people who have the credibility, people who are competent, people who we know that can actually take up this role. And you see, this it's a broad issue. So this is what the MPP is saying, but it is quite a broad issue. If you want to take with not solely sentencing on MPP, but all the political parties. I mean, when you're paying such a huge sum of money to contest, and that is why sometimes we get people, and then I mean, it's like they are not really in for the job, because the person have pumped in a lot of money, and then how you're supposed to repay that money back, you should do it. And I can boldly tell you that a lot of them even go in for loans to finance themselves. What of that young, I mean, vibrant youth out there that is now starting a career in politics, and then he has the notion that, well, I feel like I have the capacity, I feel like I'm competent, I feel like I'm credible, I can hold a position in this party, and I'm being taxed to pay 8,000. Why am I going to get that money? But well, as I said, this is what the party is stating, and that is, let me put it in a way that is the rule, and that is what they are requesting. They are requesting for, so we cannot rubbish it. But the only problem is this not going to be a hindrance to other people in the party? Wouldn't it be a hindrance? And what signal is it putting across there? Is the signal out there positive? Is it negative? With that, I'll leave you to answer that question. Is it putting across there a positive or a negative signal out there? And then in terms of our politics, well, what is it speaking about? What is it speaking about? Because listen, you are going to pay 8,000. After you pay that 8,000, and then you are being picked, when it's time for, that is internal party elections. But we have people who take internal party positions, and then when it comes to general elections as well, some people also want to take up other positions, and you are supposed to pay a double money. If not that, you're supposed, as I said, sort people out, campaign. And then campaign is not, and you be that for more. You move from district to district, municipality to municipality, constituency to constituency. You sell your what's the name? This is not about selling your product. So you sell your vision, you sell your objectives, how to convince the people this is what I want to do. But you see, that's alone is not enough. You can sell it out. You might have the most brilliant vision ever to change and transform the party, but if you don't have the money, it becomes so difficult. So I feel like this is something that needs to be looked into. But as I said, will this be a hindrance? What signal is it giving out there? Is it something that is going to affect the political landscape? You should answer that to yourself. Thank you for making time with me on the screen.
Thank you so much for making time with us right here on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show We'll be going for the news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be coming your way with the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, I wo UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha e the sound system which spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha enti se we ye a year we ye engagement we ye wedding we ye birthday party political parties are mo ye rally se mo ye sorry mo ye crusade so we bo carnival or any kind of event now we pe spinning machine papa e bo sound no mu e de dia ene me kanfo GTR sounds e de emawo ye wa live band nso a woto nsa e de frenya ye betimi ababeboa ama wudwumedi a wudi ene so atimi aye kama pa ye wo enkan poponi mantemo anya aponche hotel e ho pepepe e na ye butuo odi ane se wo be frɛ empanifo e wo 0546960510 GTR sounds e mu de angaza.
News, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, the New Patriotic Party set October 3 for National Officers election as nominations open August 17. Stakeholders caution substandard seats threaten Ghana's food security. National Road Safety Authority cautions motorists against speeding after fatal Fancourt to Pokwase crash kills 11. Also in the news, Konkomba Yam market traders oppose plans to site 24-hour economy market at their location. And in business, Association of Ghana Industries raises caution over 40% electricity tariff hikes facing businesses. We've got full details on these stories and many others coming up shortly. The New Patriotic Party has announced its election for national officers on October 3, 2026. According to the party, nominations for aspirants will open from August 17 to August 22. Chair of the National Elections Committee, Frederick Opariansa, disclosed the date and also outlined the cost of nomination forms for each position. He said aspirant for national chair will pay 50,000 for forms. Those contesting vice chair positions are to pay 30,000 Ghana cedis, while aspirant for general secretary will pay 25,000 Ghana cedis. The outline fees and timeline are to ensure a smooth, transparent and well-coordinated internal election process.
I wish to draw particular attention to the election timetable. The process begins next week, from the 17th to the 22nd of August 2026, will be opening and closing of nominations. From the 23rd to the 27th of August will be for filing of nomination forms. The 31st of August to 3rd September will be for vetting of aspirants. On the 5th of September, which happens to be my birthday, we will publish the vetting results. On the 6th and 7th of September, will be open for appeals. 10th September, we expect the National Executive Committee and the National Council of the party, who have the ultimate responsibility of approving these aspirants and the process, will have a meeting to seal the deal. We hope to issue the notice of poll on the 14th of September. And on the 3rd of October 2026, the election proper will be held. We urge every prospective aspirant and stakeholder to take careful note of these dates. The committee intends to adhere to this timetable so that the party can proceed towards the National Delegates Conference in an orderly and predictable manner. The approved cost of nomination forms is as follows. For the national chairmanship position, 50,000 Ghana cedis. For vice chairpersons, 30,000 Ghana cedis. For the general secretary position, 25,000 Ghana cedis. All other positions, 10,000 Ghana cedis, with a special consideration for the special wings. Nasara, women and youth paying 8,000 Ghana cedis. Payment for nomination forms will be accepted in cash or by cash check at the National Headquarters at Asylum Dam. Upon payment of the prescribed fee, the aspirant will be issued with an official receipt, upon presentation of which the appropriate nomination form will be issued. Nomination forms may also be downloaded from the party's website. However, an aspirant who downloads the form must still pay the prescribed nomination fee.
Stakeholders in Ghana's seed value chain cautions about the growing influx of substandard and uncertified seeds could undermine agricultural productivity and threaten national food security. The concerns were raised during a National Seed Council engagement held in Tamale on Wednesday. Participants, including seed producers, agro dealers, regulators, and farmer groups, said poor quality seeds are flooding parts of the market, putting crop yields and farmers' livelihoods at risk. To address the challenge, the stakeholders called for stronger collaboration between the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, the Plant Protection and Regulatory Service Directorate, the National Seed Council, and private sector players.
Yes, so we are here today in connection with Seed Ghana. In fact, during the inaugural ceremony, the Honorable Minister tasked the board to go around the country to interact with Seed Growers Association, to also interact with the stakeholders, and the stakeholders involved the private Seed Growers Association and universities and the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. So our visiting Northern region here, yesterday we met with the Seed Growers Associations, we interacted with them, and today we are here with the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and that is why we have to visit the field. In fact, as we're all aware, since we took over the seed company, farmers are complaining a lot about the seed industry. We have noticed that there are a lot of seed infiltration in this country, some few challenges, and we thought that it's really important that we meet with farmers and the stakeholders so that at the end of the day we get a lasting solution in solving the seed challenges in this country. That is why we are here. Thank you.
The National Road Safety Authority has cautioned motorists against speeding and distractions while driving following a fatal crash on the Ofanko to Pokwase stretch that claimed 11 lives and left 13 others injured. The accident, which occurred on the busy highway, involved multiple vehicles that caused extensive damage. Speaking to the media, National Road Safety Authority Senior Planning Manager Felix Owusu said investigations are in progress to determine the exact cause of the crash. However, he noted that the level of distraction to the vehicles suggests speeding may have been a contributing factor.
So far, we are still trying to get the official report from the police. Yeah, because when the crashes occur, we pick the official report from the police, and based on that, that's how we can report on that. But from what we are hearing, so far we've been told of about 11 people dead so far, and then several others at the various hospitals. So I think as I speak, we are still trying to confirm the numbers that have been sent to the hospitals. I think I've heard of the GhanaTalks hospital and the Achimota hospital. I was here when the commander made a call to the investigators to confirm the numbers. So until we get the numbers, we will not be able to give out the exact figures. But we know some appreciable number of people have been affected, either dead or seriously injured. Now it's too early. We are now still picking up the records to get to, let's say, give us some time. And I know maybe in about some few hours time, get all the records of the various people who have been affected, all the accident or the casualties, to get their information and then put it out there. But now it is too early. I don't want to preempt and say anything that I don't have any official report. As for when again, because I do not have the official report, I wouldn't be able to tell the exact cause of the accident or the crash. But obviously, the street lights or malfunctioning street lights may be a reason, and also speeding. Okay, we cannot also rule out the fact that most of the vehicles that were involved in the crash were speeding, or some of them were speeding. I've heard of some tipper trucks, I think 2 of them at least, and then also some commercial passenger vehicles. But looking at the impact, from what we see, the mangled vehicles, you can tell that most of the vehicles were speeding, and that has resulted in the severity of the crash we see here. From the preliminary report I've had, I had 7. 2 tipper trucks, 2 Sprinter commercial cars, and then also 2 saloon vehicles, that's a private vehicle, and then also a tricycle. And like I said, we got here not too long ago, so we are still trying to pick up the rest of information. Until we get that, we'll not be able to tell what exactly, even let.
Traders at the Konkomba Yam Market appeal to government and the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to reconsider plans to site the proposed 24-hour economy market at their current location. In an interview, the traders said the market is a major hub that supports thousands of livelihoods and provide full security for households across Accra. According to the affected traders, repurposing the space for 24-hour economy project will displace traders and disrupt the yam value chain. That is what they have to say.
The 24 hours economy that the government is coming to do here, the reason being guide to me is that for me, since I was born, I started here. And this market, it was just like this that we started. And it's from this market that I started, and I started from primary to my tertiary level. And then I think most of my family are living here, not 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and more than 5 years and 10 years and about. And I think when he started to set up an 24 hours economy, it won't help, because the land that is guiding here, he will clear some of part of where the people are living, which will not support the people to live again, to support the market. The development, we are supporting development, but we are not supporting for the development to destroy something before the development comes. When the land take away, or when they clear some of part of the houses around the market to settle the 24 hours economy, it will destroy something very important, my brother. The reason another I want to tell you is that when you are checking around, you can see that the place is choked. We like it like that because the people living here, the population is too high, and they are supporting where there is population. That is where there is high investment. And when there is high investment, it will increase the revenue to government himself. So I think here being this is very effective for us, because when we are doing this, it will have 24-hour economy. Without people, I think it will support my brother. This is my regard to
Mama Yapaucho. Market we muna yeye ene de hwe abusiafo ye papa no ye wa mama no wo fie ye panucho market no betua no ye panucho si wanja 24-hour economy market no also be sia me no so say obese market now wa bubunu no we sia ye panucho wanja ifo ko bebe just run pi ye pa because ye 24-hour economy. So I'm going to market because I say you buy and pay tiles and pay cement and you are ye ma aye didi ya penisa but market way and my aduani di ye aduma ye west ye aduma ye kakra credit omo promise ayi fa ne be kwakwa e be nya sika ana be hwe abusiafo ye nwamu nyina ofio ye na ye aduma kakra credit de ye di support fie nti bu pame a ayi fa ne be kwakwa ye aduma mo pese ko bokro no ndidi ana dabi ya pese be bokro no nti na ye bre aduma ye adidi e de so.
The Tema Metropolitan Chief Executive, Abby Bright, has debunked claims that government projects are currently in progress in the municipality without the involvement of the Tema Metropolitan Assembly. Speaking in response to concerns raised by some residents, the Chief Executive said all state projects in Tema must be properly coordinated through the Assembly and include consultations with residents and local stakeholders. According to her, the Tema Metropolitan Assembly remains the legitimate coordinating body for development projects within the metropolis, and bypassing the Assembly undermine local governance and accountability. She urged government agencies and contractors to respect the local government structure and work closely with the Assembly for effective project delivery in Tema.
However, we all know that the unique situation that pertains in Tema is that where chieftaincy and land ownership is concerned, all of this have been given at no cost to the government of Ghana, which is what gave us this beautiful city called Tema. So the chiefs are not engaged in any sale of lands or do not claim any such authority. I believe that every resident of Tema can testify to the fact that we don't have any issues with chieftaincy where land ownership or appropriation is concerned. However, our situation is that we're dealing with a state-owned limited liability company, which is a private company, which is engaged in real estate. However, status as state-owned also puts an extra responsibility that we're more responsive to the law and the dictates of governance. The government cannot be fighting against itself. However, the governance question is difficult in Tema because when these situations arise, it appears that the government is the one fighting you. I would like to state that the government of Tema is vested in TMA, and I want to use this opportunity before we continue to apologize for any assertions that have been made before today to the effect that these projects which by their implementation have infringed on your rights and have refused to respect the contribution that you have the right to make in this society. We apologize that this has been attributed to the president. It is not true. I want to debunk that now. As I sit here, if there's any state interest in any business within this jurisdiction, it will come straight to me because I am the agent of His Excellency the President here. So he states that the President has not asked for this project. It has nothing to do with him. He has not given any instructions that says that your views don't matter. In any case, any development is possible as long as we follow what the law has laid down, which requires that the Assembly will lead a process of engagement with the residents. We can always rezone an area for development, whereby the Assembly will lead discussions with you. We will sell you the idea, we will get your buy-in, we will agree, we will come to the Assembly. Now the Assembly is made up of your elected representatives. In your case, for the Ashiboy electoral area, Honorable.
In business, the Association of Ghana Industries has raised concerns over rising electricity costs facing businesses, cautioning that some companies have been hit with electricity tariff adjustment of more than 40%. Speaking at the Association of Ghana Industries second quarter business barometer presentation and corporate forum on Thursday, August 13, Association of Ghana Industries President Kofi Nsia said the development was adding to the cost pressures confronting businesses despite recent improvements in Ghana's macroeconomic conditions. He said the Electricity Company of Ghana had withdrawn a previously negotiated tariff arrangement that provided discounted end-user rate to some electricity bar customers. According to him, the withdrawal exposed affected companies to upward tariff adjustments in excess of 40% applied with immediate effect. He explained that the increase was coming on top of other tariff adjustments experienced by businesses and putting additional pressure on their operating costs. The Association of Ghana Industries President said Ghana's relatively stable exchange rate and declining inflation had, on the other hand, improved the ability of businesses to forecast input costs with greater confidence. Kofi Nsia commended government for the progress made in moving Ghana from a period of acute fiscal distress towards fiscal consolidation. He also pointed to the high level of business confidence reflected in the Association of Ghana Industries second quarter 2026 business barometer, with an indication of continued confidence in government economic stewardship and reform agenda. However, he cautioned that the gains recorded during the first half of the year could become fragile if the needed measures to consolidate them are not sustained. Among the risks identified by the Association of Ghana Industries are the ongoing Middle East conflict, Ghana's heavy dependence on gold, cocoa and oil as major exports, as well as rising utility costs. He also welcomed government decision to avoid a supplementary budget despite outperforming some of its targets. He called for more competitive industrial sector, increased formal employment and economic growth path that is less dependent on the prices of few commodities. The Association of Ghana Industries said it is ready to work with the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana and government to ensure that the gains from the 2026 media budget review translate into an operating environment where Ghanaian businesses can invest, compete and grow with confidence. To sports, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation has denied claims by members of the Black Queens that government owes the team outstanding per diem, insisting that all approved allowances due to the players and eligible officials have been paid. In a statement issued on August 12, the ministry said players and eligible officials received per diems in advance on July 29, covering the period from July 26 to August 7. It added that following the team's quarter-final exit and their continued stay in Morocco for the FIFA Women's World Cup play qualification pathway, a further payment was made on August 11 to cover the period from August 8 and August 14. The ministry also clarified that the team earned a winning bonus for the victory over Cape Verde during the WAFCON group stage, and the payment is currently being processed in accordance with established financial procedures. It further rejected claims of outstanding WAFCON qualification bonus, explaining that government current sports financing framework does not provide for separate bonus for qualifying through the home and away round. According to the ministry, no winning bonuses were approved for the qualifying matches against Egypt. The statement follows concerns raised by the Black Queens over outstanding financial obligations, warfare, and the level of support provided during the WAFCON campaign. In showbiz, award-winning gospel minister Ohima Mercy has officially announced the 2026 edition of her annual worship concert, Tahila Experience, setting the stage for what she described as a night of praise, gratitude, and divine encounters. The 2026 Tahila Experience will bring together gospel music lovers, worshippers, and industry stakeholders for an evening dedicated for thanksgiving and high praise. Speaking at the lunch in Accra, she said the theme for the 2026 centers on gratitude and God's faithfulness over the years. The 2026 edition will feature live worship and ministrations from Ohima Mercy and special guest gospel ministers, mass choir sessions, and congregational praise testimonies and Thanksgiving segment for Ghana's works in 2025. The event is expected to attract thousands to the venue, with both in-person and online streaming options for the diaspora audience. On global updates, a Frenchman who was sentenced to 20 years in prison in Mali for plotting an alleged coup in the West African country has now been granted a presidential pardon. Jan Vasilia was accused a year ago of trying to destabilize President Assimi Goïta's government on behalf of the French intelligence service, alongside a number of army generals and dozens of soldiers. It is not yet clear what has prompted Mali's change of mind, but France's foreign ministry is yet to comment on the pardon. In a post on Facebook, the Malian government said this act of clemency, which does not call into question the fact established by an adversary judgment rendered during a trial where all rights of the defense were respected, is accompanied by the immediate removal of the individual from national territory. Mali is a former colony of France and has been gripped by security crisis fueled by Islamist insurgency since 2012. It was one of the reasons given for Goïta leading a coup in 2021, but attacks by jihadist group have continued. At the first time of arrest last year, Mali Security Minister General Dawood Ali Mohamedine said fringe elements of the Malian armed security forces had been detained for seeking to destabilize the institutions of the republic. The Brazilian was said to have acted on behalf of the French intelligence service, which mobilized political leaders, civil society actors, and military personnel in Mali, according to the minister. In April, the country's defense minister was killed in an apparent suicide track bombing on his residence near the capital Bamako during a wave of militant attacks. Goïta named himself defense minister shortly after in an apparent attempt to consolidate his already considerable power. When the capital came under siege by Islamist fighters, they managed to impose a partial blockade and total blockades elsewhere, including the city of Sego. Last May, the junta dissolved all political parties following rare anti-government protests, which former Prime Minister Musa Mara described as a severe blow to reconciliation effort initiated by the military leaders. And that's it on the morning news update. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to Ghana Talks Radio. Do also log on to all streaming platforms at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news updates, as well as logging on to all streaming platforms at Ghana Talks Radio. I am Deborah Dawes, do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Only on Ghana Talks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. When you see cause on there, where the spark inside the flame, from the first light to the last mile. Stay with us a while. Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. Accra to the world we bring it. Fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Only on Ghana Talks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way.
Good morning to you once again, and you're welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station you can carry along wherever you go. Ever you go, I mean, to the world, back and forth, ever you go. You don't have to do shit. No, you don't have to do that. All you need to do is just get yourself some small data and you're good to go. And if you want to join us live, we are streaming live on our social media platform. On Facebook, we are streaming live on Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do you want to join us this morning? Let's get interactive. Send in your suggestions, your opinions, your thoughts. What do you think about the issues you're about to raise and whatever is happening in the country? Share thoughts with us. We'll help you to, echo that for the right authorities to see them. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the morning show. And as you know it, we are going to be looking at some interesting news headlines before we get into the second segment of the morning show. And I'll be doing this with Ms. Regina Bless and Ms. W. Adoso. Not really excited. A bit kind of sad. That has to do with the accidents that happened. Before we get into that, let me say hi to the ladies first. My ladies. Oh, Miss Regina, what happened? Do you need more tissue?
No.
You guys are welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was saying, we didn't hear good news yesterday. I said, me go school aba, me go ejumaba, okoye wamba biyo. And you could see the body parts of human beings being collected as a Piotr sachet out from IFA. It's so sad. And one question that people are asking, what actually caused this accident? And upon what I've read, is as a result of Nabobo Yao that was actually parked on the main road, and then a sprinter car collided with a tipper truck. With a truck, and 10 people are dead. 11 people are dead, and some are equally injured as well. We didn't hear a good story yesterday. It was so bad, so sad, and very frustrating. And you could see the frustration also on that particular road, that people were not even able to get to work early because traffic was jammed up right there on the road, and I'm lost of words. It's sad. What's it, Gina? So sad, right?
Very sad. And the Abuboya driver that was parked there, I think the MTTD are taking things very lightly, because say a share in Bofufona, you have no right to park on the road, especially by the side of the road. You have no right to park there. And looking at the road, it is not, your friend is saying, it is not that part Kakrano is not meant for even humans to pass there. That is why we have pedestrian and motorist part of every road. They've done it there, say this is where humans are supposed to pass, and this is where motorists are supposed to pass. But due to humans' negligence and stubbornness, now people are dead. So this boils down to MTTD. It is their right to make sure that they arrest the people who park by the roadside. Ebi wo ha onye hwio ba na wa park na wa so hazard because you say if you are facing any more function in your vehicle, there's a hazard ne parking and no one will question you. So people have normalized it. Even if nothing is going on wrong with their car, then they'll just park normal so hazard. Like for what?
You know, just recently, sorry not to cut, you know, just recently I was listening to the news and one of the, I think has to do with the road authorities. They mentioned that now the drivers, when they are tired, they put on their hazard
then they sleep.
And then they sleep in the car in the middle of the road. Like,
why would you do that? Why? Find a secluded place and park.
Seriously, like is that bad?
Just this stretch, this Ablekuma, from Anya to Market. I thought that obe o kono na cars akesia a park you on the roadside. They've like ko other side and they are parked there, which is wrong. Don't park on the road. That is not where you are supposed to park. That some of these issues, it causes traffic a lot. I thought that obe who said traffic is see any show. Cars now parking or hunting. It's a slow down movement. I think.
Like it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, I find you what is ewo.
No, you know, I just remember that my kid brother used that road, which is Bismarck. He uses that road every morning too. So when I heard about it, I was like, hey God, Bismarck. Thank God.
See, the MTTD together with the Ghana Police Service, this is not the time to be standing by the roadside and be taking 5 cedis, 10 cedis, 20 cedis. Money is not everything. See, one simple mistake can cost people's life. Just abobo yao, abobo ya. And when you see the videos, it is very disgusting. Very disgusting. And I can say they are doing nothing about it.
Now what can they do?
What can they have a lot to do. Don't park on the road. Abobo and then timpan or parking on road honum. Why? That place is not a parking lot. And especially to some of these short drivers where they are not even supposed to park to pick passengers. That is where they park to pick passengers. And in every I don't know how they call it, but roadside beer has to have a law enforcer there.
Of course.
Utinya, then they arrest you. When you get to Banyard, a lot are there. And excuse me to say, they are not doing anything. Or when you know my bomb, a side of chin where I can say, I say, Omukodi Afashe, and they are grouped at one side. What are you doing grouped at one side? How would you see the vehicles moving? How would you correct any driver who is doing anything bad? Disperse yourself. The Banyard stretch where the Mr. Woos, no one is standing there. All of them omujina show honum. What are you doing there?
And they are waiting that if you cross the light before or after it is red or green, then they grab you.
Look at this.
Yes, that's what they do.
And they I don't know, but when you go to the outside world, they have towing companies where when you are parked illegally, they find you, they pick up your car and take it to the station. Come there and answer questions. Why is your car parked there? Why is your car parked illegally? Why is your car parked at a wrong spot? Sometimes they can jail you, sometimes they can fine you. It is better they start doing this in Ghana. The law is there, but they are not enforcing it. Should we wait till everyone, God forbid, everyone is dead before we put in more action? Mind you, that stretch, day in and day out, people use it every day.
Every day.
Morning, evening, dawn, every day.
It's sad. This actually reminds me, the traffic lights at Kwashiman also is not working. And they are waiting for people to lose their life, people to die before they will come and fix the traffic light. And that traffic light got damaged as a result of an accident with an onion car that happened there, I think somewhere last 3 months or last 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. And ever since, the traffic light has not been fixed. In the morning, you will see police officers there regulate, but I say like Adia Sana will be a free Juma Bano. Then I say like, oh, at free.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. It's so bad. So our authorities, your eye for DG. See, this gentleman which you go be brave. Where they must be back. Miss Debbie.
The accident that happened was an eyesore. It was, I don't know the word to use, but it was that bad. And I remember yesterday when I was reading the news, my mom called me. I don't know what she was. She kept calling me. And finally, when I picked the call, she was like, they said accidents I see on phone call a year. And then she know Ablekuma's chair. So she was thinking, say maybe I'll have to. And I was like, no, that lane, not. Although it's on the same lane, but not yeah. And she was like, oh, I got scared. I was like, but you see, like it's bad. And they also link that to, I think they link that to faulty traffic. They say that's straight to they have a faulty traffic there which is not properly working. And that reminds me of the orthogonal traffic light that we kept talking about. We spoke, and now I think whatever we've placed across there has bear fruit, because the traffic light is now functioning properly, and then you can see the student crossing the road, and they are all safe. Now this accident is, for me, I know when I view how the whole incident occurred, it is something that can be prevented. We have the MTTDs. What are they doing? You see, the MTTDs, you're not supposed to be in the office. Your place of work is not at the office.
On the road.
Your place of work is to be on the road. Ensure that things that are not supposed to be there, I mean, things that will be a hindrance or will lead to an accident, are not on the road. That is what you're supposed to do. I'm to office and more direction. If you're in office and you are giving orders, no one will do it unless you go there, do the work. That is why you are there. But they are sitting in the office with big ACs and they are taking money every month. But what is expected of them? They are not doing it. And we've lost 11 lives. 11 as a result of someone's recklessness. And you see, this accident might not occur, but yes, I was saying, you know, where they ABC. So it's like the tipper truck was also driving with speed. If the driver was maybe slowing down, at least they could have prevented it. But he was driving with speed, and the thing is, you don't expect and you don't expect the tipper truck to drive slowly. Maybe one tipper truck are driving slow down.
Sorry to catch. I learned that if a hand was almost stop here, they've already stopped.
Yes,
including buses as well.
Yes, it doesn't stop at a go.
Exactly.
So when it has to do with this big vehicles, and that is why sometimes when I bought a vehicle and I see that my driver wants to overtake a tipper truck, I'm because these are drivers that if you are driving a tipper truck, you need to be very concentrated. Let's mistake it will lead to an accident. And you see these small saloon vehicles, especially the saloon vehicles, overtaking this Obeku.
Oh, saloon vehicle.
Yes, Obeku. There is no way you will crash with a tipper truck and you survive. Obeku, because the vehicle on its own is heavy. And it's carrying a heavy, either equipment or what. Sometimes it is soil.
Yeah.
A whole soil. Very heavy. And I remember that there was an accident that happened at a barnyard. I think I said it here. At barnyard. At dawn, a tipper truck and a truck. No one survived.
For these are roads here.
No one survived.
It's very bad.
MTTD, this is a wake-up call. You are sleeping too much. Please, the right things should be done. Those aboboya tricycle drivers needs to be cautioned. Even if it is an arrest, you arrest them. You cannot just come and park on the road. That they have a property.
When I see legalizing, legalizing the end.
Okay, then legalizing aboboya.
Tricycle are equally
they are part
as well. So just imagine if they are being legalized. Then
it's not even about aboboya. Even the friend said these tipper trucks, the big cars, together with these saloon vehicles, they always park there. They always park. Not only aboboya, all those people.
So TTD and also the National Road Safety Authority, you have a role to play in all of this, and we as citizens as well, especially the drivers, we equally have a role to play as well. If you are sitting in a car and you think that the driver is over speeding, you have all the right to, speak up. I think somewhere within the month, I picked an Uber, and right from the house, the Uber driver was on phone. I was like, "Wait, me, I'll not talk plenty. Abi afterwards though, tell us to rate you, and you will see the comments are right for you. And if you be on the road, it's like it's bad.
Bibini, you're waiting for him to alert you first before you give.
You see the comments.
God forbid, what is something that happened?
So right after Uber gave me the chance to give, they'll tell you to give a star. My money be, and I wrote my report there. The driver was on phone throughout the journey, so they should go and read that. It's bad. It's a bad habit. Immediately you see that the driver is not doing the right thing, and you are sitting in the car, your life is equally at stake as well. And for the drivers, one thing I know is that whatever that they will do to save themselves, they will do it.
Yes.
They will not think about you, the passenger.
Yes.
So if you could notice that all the accidents that we see, most of the times the drivers actually survive because they'll think about themselves first before the passengers.
So the baby I will or the boom
or the baby boom. So if you are sitting in a vehicle and the driver is not doing the right thing, make sure that you speak up. Speak up, because your life is equally at stake. And so that was actually what happened yesterday at Ofanko Barrier. 11 people dead and several injured as well. We can do something. We can do something as a country so as we don't see this happen again. Right, away from that, let's get into some interesting news items. This is a comment from President John Dramani Mahama, and he says that ending double track will improve WASI performance. And looking at the comments he made, we are waiting for the minority to say something about this. President John Dramani Mahama has affirmed that the government's decision to phase out the double track system in senior high schools will improve students' academic performance by increasing contact hours between teachers and students. He attributed the decline in the quality of teaching and learning, particularly in the preparation of students for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, to reduced interaction between teachers and students under the double track system. Speaking during his first day tour of the Upper East region on Thursday, which was yesterday, the president said ending the system would restore longer periods of teacher-student engagement and create better conditions for learning. And he said, "We realized that one of the things affecting free senior high school was the reduced contact hours between students and the teachers. So we believe if we end the double track, it will increase the student-teacher contact hours, and also believe that it would improve their performance in the WAEC exams," he said. To facilitate the transition, the government has set the end of 2027 as the target for completing the phase out of the double track system, subject to the expansion of infrastructure needed to accommodate all students. So this is from our President John Dramani Mahama, and he made this comment during his first day tour of the Upper East region, and he says that ending the double track system is actually going to improve WASI performance, because ever since the double track system was introduced, teacher and student engagement has reduced, and then due to that they don't have ample time to be able to absorb all the syllables in the term, or let's say in the semester. So due to that, it has made students to perform poorly. But now that this government is on board, they are going to make sure that they end it. Ms. Debbie, do you think that ending the double track is actually going to help students improve, especially when it comes to the WASI results?
From the onset, when this double track system was being introduced, I think I was among the few who said it's not going to help us as a country, because I don't understand why the school we went to, it was a full badge. SS1, SS2, SS3, everybody was on campus. If you are vacating on the 6th from SS3 to SS1, everybody is vacating on the 3rd. If you are vacating, if you are resuming school maybe 20th January from SS1 to SS3, everybody is resuming school on that same date. There are no instances where some badges will have to go, some badges. It's not university. University crowd, they still have a set date where, all courses are done.
Yeah.
Even in a pace of a week, maybe you might not be you all cannot finish on the same day, but maybe let me say law students will finish like on Monday, Tuesday another program will finish, like another student for another program will finish like that in a week. Everybody is done with their paper. So why senior high school? And the red go green. We have the red, we have the yellow, we have the green, and it's distorting the structure of our education system. So you realize that when they brought this go track green thing, the time where the student resume and the time they are being vacated to go home was not the same. It kept changing. Now, on a normal basis, we knew that BEC, for my time, I wrote BEC in June. BEC was written in June. By 14th, 7th June, you are done with BEC. And then you know that September, you are heading to senior high school. So in the pace of July, August, your parents have started buying you your troubles. They've started buying you everything. So every parent know that in September, first year students are resuming. But immediately, this free senior high school thing came. It changed. Parents do not even know when their wards are going to school and you complete. When they are coming back, they don't even know. Yes, and then it brought another expenses on this parent, and that is because some parents want their children to study hard, and so when you go to school for then time it is 3 months. After 3 months, then they'll vacate you to come home. Then another 3 months, another 3 months. That is how it is. But now it's not like that. You go to school and then you exhaust like 1.5 months, and then you come and stay home like 3 months. So the parents will have to bear the cost of paying for an extra classes for the ward, so that you don't get you don't lag behind. And those are extra expenses. And parents who do not care whether classes or no classes, they don't even care. Your own is just come home. And you see the children, gallivanting around. And that is when we saw a high increase in the rate of teenage pregnancy. Because it was noticed that a lot of these students, when they come back home, it is from one room to another. One room, instead of one classroom to another, it has become one room to another. And so the rate of
one student is to one room.
Maybe they are learning the practicals.
This kind of practical is now one. So the rate of pregnancy, like teenage pregnancy, it was like it's a mind boggling, it's a mind blowing, It was too high. So you see, what President Mahama is saying is true. It should be one. If we know that BEC students are writing in June, it is June. If they are going back to school in September, it is September. And then when you get there, you know that it is after every 3 months, you end the first semester. After every 3 months, the second semester. After every 3 months. So it is in the mind of this case. When you are done, you don't even know. You have to wait for GES to publish the dates on which these students will be resuming to school before they can go to school. Like, it is that bad. So if that's what the president is saying, it's true, but do we have enough infrastructure?
Yes, that is another question I was going to ask, that if we are ending the double track, that means that we have to expand infrastructure and also the teachers as well, and also funding, because the students will become larger and they will have to eat the teachers. Are we ready for that as a country before we are ending the double track?
Have we
made provisions?
We should have thought of this before even introducing the free senior high school policy at the first place.
Right. Let me go to Ms. Regina first before we get into that question. So your opinion about the president's comments on ending the double track system.
Okay, so my personal and honest opinion, double track system should not limit the access to quality education. It's all about how we go about the double track system, and looking at the years over the past years, I would say it's lacked proper planning, it's lacked supervision also. I wouldn't want to compare ourselves with other Western worlds, but when we look at the other Western world, they do double track. There are some times where the same set of people, they are being divided. We call now we are continuing now we are back, and education is perfect. And why is education perfect? The education is perfect there because they have adequate qualified personnel, that are the teachers. They also have enough your friend is saying adequate facilities. They are not lacking behind when it comes to any of these things. But when we look at Ghana, we are lacking behind. Teachers are buoy, facilities are buoy. So how do we go about double track system? There's no way you can house a lot of people if you yourself, you're not comfortable in your house. If you yourself, you don't have enough rooms. You are living in one single room and you're saying say 3 people should feel free and stay in the room. How is it possible? It is not possible. So as I'm saying, double track system shouldn't have been an excuse for failed your friend is saying
for infrastructure policy
and infrastructure. It is a good thing, but that is why we are complaining. But if we had enough, we wouldn't have complained. And also from the onset of the article, wabon.
So you think it's not a double track?
It is the double track. It is a contributing factor.
But we have equally students who are part of the double track and they are doing well.
Exactly. It's a make us a wabon. Because a kolebi wa menewo say ye nanka ye double track ni mu na ye betine afia ya wo for be share so say suade but obi wo ha ne mame sori ahomache oko say ne ba no we suade so unsuade eno enye na asem so for so wo tua fees or say at the end of the day wo 3 months ne so wo tifie na obeko school no watoto provision amount asan. Some of the parents are also not helping the kids because sometimes after this double track they come home and they are just home doing nothing.
At least
Odidi wada classes simple they saying here. Odidi wada ma ubani suande. Bonu so be free drum aba na wa bre. Ope jalibia ko jala pe baby ala because ahomache obesa sorry akoso ane kaya. So sometimes in as much as you have to blame the government, you also have to blame some of these saying personal individuals also.
Miss Debbie, on the infrastructure and funding, because we were here when we heard from the Minister of Education that Anka, looking at the number or the population of students we have and also the schools, these are the number of teachers that should have been employed, but due to financial constraints and the finance minister releasing money to be able to accommodate all these teachers, so they limited the numbers, and now you want to end double track.
Maybe they have a different alternative. Do you know we still have some of the e-blocks in the bush that are so I was thinking President Muhammad rather focus on that. Well, instead of completing somebody say, but
that was his project.
The e-block, yes, it was his project.
His
first a year or the buy.
So
I was thinking, say he would have completed all that because it really helped. It really helped a lot. Now I asked a question that all this should have been put into consideration before even bringing out the policy at the first place. If you are bringing in free senior high school, it should tell you that the population will increase. If you used to expect, say maybe 1,000 students in a year, this is going to be a triple of what you expect. This is free. So there is nothing like you hindering somebody's ward from coming to school. So long as the person have gotten the cutoff point that it's a ticket. Yes, it's a ticket for you to be admitted into that school. You cannot stop the person. So we should have even put that into consideration first. Do we have enough infrastructures to accommodate these students? It's not only about infrastructures. Are these infrastructures well equipped? Do we have dormitories that can accommodate these students? Numbers. Because it got to a time where the students were being forced to sleep in the dining hall.
I don't know if you've seen the report
on the floor.
I don't know if you've seen the report.
And then something in the washroom.
The Peking Peking Senior High School, Chale, it's bad though.
Yeah, sleeping on the floor.
Their washroom is washroom. And when they bath is a free range. And their dormitories, they don't have furniture, so their mattresses are on the floor.
Like a lot of schools are going through a lot, so those are things that we should have considered. It's not only about free senior high school. Yes, everybody knows you brought free senior high school, but the challenges still persist. The sole problem is how to deal with the root cause of the challenge, and then when the root cause of the challenge is solved, it's okay. I told you some time ago that I was watching a movie in Chinese. Hey God,
you don't even like to go home.
Their dome is like it's you will learn because everything is there, sister.
You will learn.
Like it's enticing.
Yeah. So President John Dramani Mahama says ending the double track is going to improve WASSCE performance. What do you also think? Do you think that is the case? And now you side with Miss Regina. Say wabong. All right, you can drop your thoughts and your opinion in the comment section at GhanaTalks Radio on Facebook, at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Thank you so much for joining me briefly, and this is what we call Just by the Ways. So my guests are already in, so we'll be diving quickly into the second segment right after this break.
Your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring it. Fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. When you see your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring it. Fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Only on GhanaTalks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way.
Welcome back from that break, and this is the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This again is still your favorite online radio station. You can carry along wherever you go. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do well to join us this morning. Send in your comments. Let's get interactive right here on the morning show. And this is the second segment. You know how we do it. I don't do it alone, but we come along with knowledgeable guests. We're going to be delving into the issue for discussion this morning. And I must say that we already have our two gallant and handsome men seated right here in the studio. And this morning, they are looking Ghanaian. They are repping Ghana. So make sure that wherever you are repping Ghana. You are, pushing Ghana to the map. Wherever you find yourself, make sure you are wearing Ghana. Today is Friday. And I buy my batakari. Sitting right in the studios with me is the NDC Communications team member Mudase Brima, and we also have Derek Breman. Oh, sorry. We have Derek Breman, the NPP Communications team member as well. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and you're welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning to all your listeners. We give thanks to God.
Oh, okay.
We are not in normal times.
We are not in normal times.
Yeah,
so which one are we in?
I had to use Trotsky. Meanwhile, I have my personal car because of the fuel prices. So
you left your car?
Yes,
comfortably.
I cannot buy the fuel.
Mr. Derek,
so I had to park the car.
You couldn't buy the fuel?
Yes.
But some time back,
the prices are very, very high. That was not you. I don't want you to take us back to.
Oh, but you are taking us there.
No, I'm saying that this is what is happening currently.
Currently.
If you want to bring in the fact that under MPP.
Oh, but hasn't it happened before? Is it the first time?
That is why we were voted out of power. They gave us sweet promises.
But during those times, were you leaving your car?
They gave us sweet promises. Whatever happened in the past, we are now in the present.
But were you leaving your car?
They told us that they were going to make sure that we don't buy fuel at high prices. But that's not what we are seeing today. So if you want to take us back to 2024, then it means that there was no need for us to vote for a change. Do you understand? So this morning, that's what I had to go through.
Oh, so you had to leave your car
to come to your studio. So
then it's not new, since you left your car because of fuel prices.
You see, then
that means that
we keep saying
back in 2024 you were leaving your car.
When we keep saying that it's not new, then it means that there was no need for us to vote for a change. Is that not the case?
Oh, but you think that is the only reason we were voted?
Exactly, that was the major reason for the change. So if you are still seeing the same thing today, then what was the need for the change? So let me also extend my greetings to my boss Nana B. He's the incoming first vice chairman national for MPP.
So he's competing with Anyagba.
Yes, he's not competing with Anyagba. Nana B is contesting. I don't see it to be a contest.
Not as a competition, but he's in a race.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So I call him the 3-in-1 chairman.
Why 3-in-1?
Because Nana B has experience when it comes to organizing the youth. Nana B has been an organizer, and so Chris Lloyd will be the national youth organizer. Nana B's experience that he gathered as a national youth organizer, he will use it to help Chris Lloyd. And whoever becomes the national organizer, Nana B has experience when it comes to organization. In opposition, whatever the party does is to organize itself and unite itself for power in 2028. And so I believe that Nana B's experience as organizer, you saw what he did with the recent demonstration, our democracy and attack demonstration, the numbers that he was able to pull within less than a week shows that he has the experience when it comes to organization. And so he being the first vice chairman, he has all these experiences that he's bringing on board to help, the party. So I call him the 3-in-1 chairman. So this morning, let me greet him and urge him. And also, I ask the delegates to vote for him come 3rd October 2026.
Yeah. He said he pulled a lot of numbers. That some people didn't even know why they were there. Well,
it appears that anything I say, you want to.
Oh no! It's on fact. We actually have videos because our reporters. We have reporters. We had reporters on ground who reported. Some people didn't even know why they were there. Why are you here? They couldn't explain. They couldn't even tell our camera.
I've not seen.
Oh, you've not seen it.
So if you can show me such video,
we'll show you some very
soon.
It's on our page, so you can go to TikTok on GhanaTalks.
I scrolled to your page last night, but I didn't see any.
Oh, you didn't see any. Yes. The democracy and attack. You didn't see any video.
Anyone saying that he or she didn't know the reason why he was at the demonstration. Okay. I didn't see any video like that, unless of course you want to show it to me right now.
All right, Brahma.
Yes, please.
Did you see any video like that?
I saw that some people were interviewed, and I think that some of their colleagues whisked them away because they didn't want them to face the media, and they know that they would have revealed who they truly were, as in their identity. People who perhaps don't even know what they are about. Maybe they were just hungry and they called them to come and join the demonstration for some few cities and some. My brother, when you were speaking,
please, I beg you.
No, senior. No, senior. You have to.
Senior. Please, I beg you.
You have to respect my submission. When you were speaking, I didn't interrupt you, so I expect same courtesy. You extend same courtesy to me, so that we have a good program. Because if you interrupt me, the next time I speak, I will interrupt you and you will not speak again.
And then maybe we are not going to have the show.
No, we cannot. You cannot say you cannot have the show because you don't host the show.
Yeah.
You are not hosting the
show.
So
one at a time.
So I am letting you.
So one at a time.
I want no.
Gentlemen, it's too early.
I am
it's too early to. Yeah, it's too early to begin on this.
I am putting it on record that. Do not interrupt me. If you interrupt, I also interrupt you.
That's fine.
So we don't want to have it.
You were trying to interrupt me.
So we don't want to have it that way. So one at a time.
That point, I kept quiet. You saw it, right?
No, you were going to interrupt me.
There was no point in.
All right.
You were going to.
Let's proceed.
You were going to interrupt me.
All right.
So
we should try not to interact.
Exactly. So I allowed you to speak freely. So allow me to. So yeah, I mean that would have revealed the true intentions of some of the people who joined the demonstration, perhaps who do not know what it was about. But nonetheless, they did their demonstration, and the outcome, as we saw, didn't yield anything, and it will not yield anything because that was a fruitless venture. And for my brother here to come and make that excuse of not using his car because petrol prices is high, I expect him to compare the current prices of petrol and compare it to their era. I mean, you who is a failure cannot come here to a pointed criticism. If you had done better, you would have had that kind of audacity to question or criticize someone. But you who had a whole 8 years, you failed woefully, for which reason you were voted out. You have that temerity to want to criticize when things are better. Today we are still having that kind of these international wars between the USA, the Iran, and all those things. They are still happening and going on, which are causing the hikes in the prices of diesel, petrol, and everywhere. And as a good government, and as a government that really cares about the people, the government has come in to subsidize the price for people. The presidency under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ordered a 2 Ghana cedis waiver reduction in the price of fuel, so that the people of Ghana will be able to feel will not be able to feel the impact, the huge impact of the price hikes. What did you do? You should be telling us what you did during your time when the price were up to even 22 Ghana cedis. During your time, fuel prices went up to 23 Ghana cedis. What did you do? His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, when he had a platform, when the transport unions were just urging him that you should at least take some burden, because there are some components in the fuel prices you can take away as a government, including some of the taxes. He told us that he cannot and he will not be able to take away some of the prices. That's a fact. When fuel prices were going up high, we all agreed then. Everyone was even sympathizing with the government that, these fuel prices were occasioned by this kind of international wars. But at least there are some components which you, the government, can come in to step in and subsidize for the people. You didn't do it. And so for that matter, when perhaps same things are happening now, and we have that kind of government that steps in to control some of these things, you don't come and criticize if you did better.
Right.
That is very hypocritical on the part of the NPP to be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's getting interesting already in the studios.
You would have asked questions as a host when he says that currently there are wars happening in the country. I mean, we're here.
What did you say?
He says that currently we are having international wars, which is affecting our fuel prices. I mean, I was expecting that you would question him on that.
And what do you want me to ask him?
When we were making the same statement or the same point, in government, and they were opposing that bombs that are flying meters away from the country does not have any effect on our fuel prices. You didn't ask him questions.
All right, let's get into the issues for discussion this morning. For this morning, the topic we have on board has to do with Sedinam Tamaklo being released from prison. After, I think, a day before yesterday, we saw that she's been granted, she's a free woman now, and this woman was actually convicted for 10 years, and she's been discharged. And also we saw that the Court of Appeal strike out AG stay application in Sedinam's case. Rima, how do you feel about this whole situation of Sedinam Tamaklo's case? Are you disappointed? Are you excited that she's out? Or you think that we've been unfair to her? Or justice was really said?
Yeah, I think that justice has truly been done. I am disappointed that we had an Attorney General who would go to the court with such a frivolous case and not be able to execute it properly as the principal lawyer of the Republic of Ghana then. Let's look at the major cases that happened. Now, there's an issue of Maslock giving Obatampa Microfinance Company a loan. So Maslock was a microfinance company which is under the institution of Ghana, where they give small loans to traders, farmers, and companies that are willing to, maybe you've proved yourself that if they give you loan, you're able to pay back with interest. Now let's just look at the three major things that during their era they were crying about, and when they came into power 2017, one of their major issues that they sent to court was they said in Atamakule, the Maslock issue to court. Now you go and talk about that the person has caused financial loss to the state because she has given out 500,000 Ghana cedis to the Obatampa Microfinance Company. You who is alleging that must prove. So for the fact that you have come to court, for instance, if my brother is here, is telling me that, or has told you as a host that I have taken this bottled water, it is not on me to come and say that I have not taken that bottled water. The burden of proof lies with him to prove that indeed I have taken this bottled water. Then if I am denying, then you can say, oh, we can check your cameras as the use of the evidence to back the fact that, oh, when we check your camera, when we check your recording, indeed you can see me taking the bottled water. Now if you go to court to say that someone has taken 500,000 Ghana cedis and has not accounted for it, she went to give the 500,000 Ghana cedis to the company Obatampa. They didn't deny. They said yes, they indeed received the money. But the interest on the 500,000 Ghana cedis, they say it is too much, they cannot pay, hence they need to return it. Now the prosecution's witness, the Attorney General witness then said that they met her at a filling station and gave her the 500,000 Ghana in cash in the Ghana must go back. That is your prosecution witness. That's what they said. Now the Ghana must go back. We don't have evidence. There's no picture of you meeting.
There wasn't proven that in
there wasn't. And so it was a WhatsApp message that she sent you. So for that matter, you would you met at the filling station because she asked you to meet there through a WhatsApp message. Provide the WhatsApp message that you say you don't have it. It wasn't proved. It wasn't shown. He said there was a receipt he signed on to acknowledge that she has received the money. Where is it that you say you do not have it? But you then, during the trial court, at the High Court trial, they were then asking her to rather prove that she has not signed a receipt, to rather prove that she has not received the money. In the first place, there is no evidence to show that I have even received the money. And even following up, she then wrote an official letter using the letterhead of Maslock to write to Obatampa to request for the 500,000 Ghana cedis. If I have taken 500,000 Ghana cedis from you and I have not accounted it, would I come and write to you officially asking you to give me the 500,000 Ghana cedis? Of course not. But that is what happened, and she requested for the money. It has not come. How is that the fault of Sedinam Tamaklu? We shouldn't we be holding the Obatampa, seeing Obatampa rather than sending that Tamakulu. Now that case to lie. So the Court of Appeal said, no, there's no proof. The burden of proof lies on you to show that she has squandered 500,000 Ghana. Now moving on, another leg of it was, Katamanto fire victim in 2013. The monies that were released was about 1 million and something Ghana cedis. Now they said that she used only 500,000 Ghana cedis to sort the market women out. And it was left with 500,000 Ghana cedis, which was unaccounted for. Now you go to present your first prosecution witness, who was the current and sitting CEO of Maslock, Mr. Sticker. I don't remember his full name. Stephen Amwa, yes. The MP for Nshasu. He was the current CEO. He was your first prosecution witness. And he said that they inquired from the market women, they did their own investigation internally and got to know that indeed all the market women were sorted out. The person you are sending to go and prove to the court that the woman has kept 500,000 Ghana cedis to herself, is telling you that when I came into office, I have done my own internal investigation. We've gone to the market and they've proved that there was no issue. Now the third one, they said she did a sensitization program nationwide, but only Greater Accra, Volta region, and the Hafo regions that participate or it happened, and she spent only 1,300 Ghana cedis on refreshments. Meanwhile, she valued the program with about over 1 million Ghana cedis, and so for that matter, there's a financial. She has not accounted for the rest. Now you go to court. What are you supposed to do? As these things, I'm trying to understand even beyond the law, putting law aside, logically, commonsensically, that I go to court, then you go and present. You need to present evidence that indeed all the region, the 16 regions, did not receive, perhaps, or did not partake in the sensitization program. You are alleging, right? And you do not bring even the regional directors of Maslock. You do not go to them. Iyoko, the investigative body at that time, admitted in court that they did not, inquire from the regional directors that whether the sensitization program happened or not. They do not have that evidence. They do not have that report. You didn't also engage the beneficiaries themselves. You didn't bring the beneficiaries themselves. For instance, the sensitization program was for the market, the traders, and the people. At least bring one of them to court and say, oh, me, I am in Abia, I'm in this region. I have not received that. Then it holds water. You did not do that. And interestingly, and they try to be dubious about the prosecution. The one I mentioned where Sticker said that they did their own findings and they got to know that the market women have been sorted out. That there was an official report on it where they presented that the woman did not commit any crime and that she sorted the market. There was an official report on it. Right. The prosecution did not submit it to court.
Right.
So yes. So when I look at all these things, I am wondering. I think they said there was some other issues about mobile phones, ex-gratia and other things that were part. But I'm wondering if you are going to even center these and you use 78 count charges against her. The court said the charges were even defective. And when you're looking at it, it means that they just wanted wherever the woman will pass, they will gag, whenever she passed, maybe the 78 counts. She didn't have any. And all these things, it went on to prove that the conspiracy to commit crime was not there. Stealing, it cannot be found. Whatever that you used, financial loss to the state, cannot be found.
Right. So that was why we saw the Court of Appeal acquitted.
Exactly. Based on these grounds, because there was no proving beyond reasonable doubt that the woman had even committed a crime. Let it even be known that the 78 charges that you even brought, at least let it be that she has even committed a crime. Now, just suppose that Attorney General to this our current Attorney General, one of our major scandal we went into was the Wuntmi case, how to do with the Samurai Boy issue, illegal mining. You see how diligent we were in our prosecution, that the court found merit in our case where there was evidence. You caught someone who was doing galamsey, the person said this person was the one that gave me mining leases and order, but they came in with their major own that they faced. They said na Tamakulu. Today, as we are speaking, it holds beyond the law. I'm looking at even the commonsensical grounds of it.
Right. So does that mean that Serenam Taramaklo is entirely free? She's innocent.
Of course, she's innocent. I mean, the court has proven that she's innocent.
So what happens to the money then?
No, at the end of the day, then we have to look at it as a state. Who do we? I mean, the right authorities. Are we going after Obantampa to bring us our 500,000 Ghana cedis? The market women have been sorted. The sensitization program, as we stand, there is no official report by any investigative body to tell us that that sensitization program happened or not. We don't even know for a fact. Meaning that we have to go into those things and get to know that yes, indeed it happened, and indeed she's exonerated. You have to prove,
right?
Or the state has that duty to prove that indeed she did not commit any crime, or to prove that she committed a crime, and the state failed under their leadership, under the NPP, under their Attorney General. That is how they fail. They failed from the courtroom, they failed to the economy, they failed to every sector of this country, and for which reason they should never have the opportunity to come to this government again, to come into government again. And that's why oral will work, and we are seeing how oral is working. Investigations are ongoing, all of them. They should get ready, from their miracles Abuaji to the last person. They will face prosecution.
All right. Mr. Brema, let me hear from you. What do you make of Sedinam Tamako's case and her being discharged and also acquitted? Because as it stands now, she's a free woman.
I mean, right from the get-go, when they took over office, that was when I got sad. That, I mean, as a country,
you got sad when
I got sad
they took over
right
office.
from when they took over office.
Why?
Because that was when they made promises in 2024 that they were going to operationalize something called Operation Recover All Loot. That's oral.
Yeah, oral.
And after they took office and then an Attorney General was appointed, they now rebranded that oral from it being Operation Recover All Loot to Operation Release All Looters. That was when you saw that the current Attorney General entered nolli prosequa into cases that bordered onto corruption. Now he discontinued all those cases. People that were alleged that they have been stolen the money of Ghana, and then he entered nolli prosequa as somebody who promised that you are going to operationalize oral to make sure that every single penny that belongs to Ghana, we recover it. You entered nolli prosequa, make those people free. Means that they've taken away our money for free, nothing will happen to them. But Sedinam Tamakulu was not lucky to be part of those cases because at the time she had already been convicted. So whatever that is happening now is something that was already planned, because after her conviction, we started the process of extraditing her from the US into Ghana. Then when they came into office, they started talking about Kenoforiata. That was when some Ghanaians started saying that, okay, then what happened to Sedinam Tamakulu? That was when they also continued the process of bringing her back to Ghana. And you know what happened? When she got into this country, they brought in national security to protect her. Somebody who was convicted.
You think it's not right for her to be protected?
No, hold on. Somebody who was convicted, who is a prison candidate. You bring in national security to protect her. Somebody who has stolen the money of Ghana. So it's already exposed them on the plan that they already had.
Then my question is it wrong to see?
It is very wrong.
How is it wrong? Because even with people that are even remanded, we still see national security around
this one,
them. Even with the case of Chema,
hold on,
going in and out of courts, we saw security.
This one, they were not protecting her in a sense that they were taking her to prison, but they were protecting her and taking her to her home as if she was not convicted.
But do you have any facts that she was taken to her home?
It is. Even their own minister for information confirmed it.
That she was taken to her
and
home.
I'll give you that that item.
That she was taken to her home.
Yes, that when she got into this country, she was protected by national security and she was taken to her home. It was after when the backlash came, that was when they had to take her back to prison. Now this is somebody who has been convicted by court on the basis that one, she took money that is 500,000, giving it to Obatampa, and then says that the interest on that money is 24%. Now this same company says that interest they will not be able to pay, and so they write back to say that okay, let's return the money. Now this person says that they wrote a check. That was, first of all, they wrote a check. Then she wrote to them that they should cash the money and bring it to her. So they met at Bachuna Total. That was when they gave the money to her. And then the investigations shows that the Maslock did not receive any money like that at the 500,000 that she gave to the Obatampa. Maslock did not receive any money. And she herself, based on the court processes, because she had absconded from the country, it was clear that she took the money, but then the company Maslock itself did not receive the money. Now there is a letter going around that she signed a letter confirming the receipt of the money. In court, she accepted or she agreed that the signature on that report is her signature, but she wasn't the one who signed the signature. How do you tell me this story? A signature that was signed with pen. You say that signature is yours, but you were not the one who signed that signature. I mean, which court will believe in what you are saying? And so on the basis of that, she had to be convicted. Secondly, you take 1.7 million that because of a fire issue that happened at Kantamanto, you are going to sort market women out. You take 1.7 million, and it happens that out of that 1.7 million, you only use not even up to half of that money to do that sorting out, and then the rest of the money you keep it. Is that a good act? A government that promised a women development bank, and a woman takes money meant for market women and misuse that money, today has been set free by her government. This same person took money that she was going to organize sensitization program across the country, and in my brother's own submission, he said that prosecution says that, or investigation says that, she did it in only 3 regions. At the time, we had 10 regions, and so if you do 3 out of the 10, the remaining 7 regions, where did their money go to? Where are those monies? And even in that 3 regions that those sensitization program happened, the amount of money that were quoted for that regions, she didn't use up to that money. So it was clear that this woman has taken monies that belong to the state. And today, you are freeing such a person. What signal are you sending? You are sending a signal that anybody who is part of this government can actually engage in corruption and will be set free. Because already, the Attorney General has already made us know that. Now, if they will do something what they call the 60-40. So if you steal the money, you can bring 40%, then you keep the 60%. And today, somebody who was convicted is being set free. On another case, people who were under investigations of engaging in corruption, you've entered null prosequi, you've discontinued all of those cases. So it shows clearly that the promise that you gave to the Ghanaian people that you are going to use oral to make sure that we recover all our loot, you have failed on that promise. Right. And you are doing selective justice. You prosecute Wontumi, and my brother was saying that they did due diligence. It was never proven that Chairman Wontumi himself engaged in galamsey. It was never proven in court. Now you use somebody who rather engaged in the illegal mining against Wontumi, and that person who did the illegal mining, the galamsey himself, is working free.
But you know why he's working free? Because
he agreed to testify against Wontumi. That was the deal that they struck with him, that if he agrees to testify against Wontumi, then he will be a free man. And he agreed to it, and he says that, agreed, Chairman Wontumi gave him the concession to plant trees, but he used that concession to do galamsey. And that person who did the galamsey is working free, but the person who had a good intention of planting trees for the country is now in jail. So Chairman Wontumi is actually a political prisoner.
Right. We are not here for Chairman Wontumi, so I wouldn't want to get.
So I had to make it clear.
I wouldn't want to bring out for us to still go on this whole matter of Chairman Wontumi. Now to the main issue, you keep using day. Who are the day? Because from what we know, or per what report has said, that Sedinam Tamaklo was actually discharged after she appealed to the Court of Appeal. So you keep using day. So who are the people you refer to day that are freed here? Are you trying to say the court?
The government.
And
the government.
The government. But
yes.
Was the government in court?
You see, what we don't tend to understand is that these people in government now, in opposition, whenever court makes any decision, they say that it is the government. It is the same thing that is happening now. They cannot tell us that the government has no hands in this.
But do you have any fact, or do you have any indicators that really tells that the government had a hand in this? Because you could also tell that right after she was pronounced discharged and also acquitted, we saw from the Attorney General of which his stay of execution was actually being discharged. But he said that the judgment that was given by the High Court actually had merit.
That Attorney General's move was out of something that he wanted to please the Ghanaian people, because he realized the backlash that was coming. Because as it stands, every Ghanaian is interested in corruption cases, and so when the appeals court brought out a judgment, he saw the backlash on the media. I mean, everybody in this country started talking about it, and so he just had to do something to make sure that they neutralize the situation. That was why he came out to do that. And even if it was something that they were serious about, has it yielded any positive results? It was clear that they had already planned it. That is why that when she got into the country, they were protecting her.
Fine. Prima, we've seen that the Attorney General has actually withdrew the application which he made, which is the stay of execution. Do you know why?
Well, I think that they said they are sending it to Supreme Court.
Yeah. For the Supreme Court. But with that, do you think that he has chances, looking at what the Court of Appeal has actually given pertaining the case? Do you think that he has any chances to succeed, that indeed there is sort of merit in the judgments given by the High Court in the case of Sedinam Tawaklo?
No, I don't think so, because of the shoddy work of the past Attorney General.
So you believe that the former Attorney General actually did supposed shoddy work?
Oh, he did a shoddy work. I mean, if you did your work well, you don't, use the burden of proof on the person you are accusing. No. It does not lie on Sedinam to come and prove that she's not a thief. The burden of, that's why in 2020 elections, we insisted on getting Jane Mensah to come on board. What did they tell us? They told us that we are accusing of, election malfeasance or issues. So which we're able to prove. So when we're asking Jane Mensah to be in the witness box, it is like telling Jane Mensah to come and tell us that she has not engaged in. No, we are accusing. So you who accuses must prove beyond reasonable doubt. And you have not been able to do it. My brother spoke about, they said they gave her a check. Where is the check? You should have a copy of it. Where he said that she signed receipt of the money, that you people have returned it. You should be able to prove it. And then you say, there's a people can forge signatures.
Yeah, and even with that, per what I read, it was a photocopy and not the original.
Not even the original one.
So what happened?
So I'm telling you that they did a shoddy work. In all angles, when you look at it, there is no proof. You said that, she was going to give some money out. You are saying no. The woman is at her somewhere. She has done due diligence. You are saying that she has used half or not even up to half to do the thing. And so for that matter, there's some half somewhere. Show us evidence that there's some half somewhere. And your own witness, the current sitting CEO, Maslock, you brought him to court. He told us that they have done their own internal investigation and got to know that the market women were sorted by the same. There's no issue with that. That one has been settled. So the court should even strike that one out immediately, because the CEO said they have done their own in finance and said that nothing has happened. You are the one that has said that they did the thing only at 3 regions, and the rest of the regions didn't receive it. What is the proof? The regional directors of Maslock, were they in court? No. The beneficiaries, were they in court? No. Did you bring them to court to tell the court that indeed these things went on? You should be able to prove that you didn't do it. And my brother kept saying, the government has set us free. So is it the case that during their era, they were also having a hand in the manipulation of the judiciary? Or they had a hand in the judiciary also giving its judgments and rulings? Does he want to admit on this platform that the NPP government then had a hand in judicial rulings? Because nothing has changed. When you look at the Court of Appeal judges, only one was appointed by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in 2025. The other 2 were appointed during Nanado's era. So what is your issue here? What is the political leaning over here? And there is a reason why it goes to Court of Appeal, because there are certain things that one person as a judge using his head to make judgment, we have confidence in the person, but certain times human beings can make mistakes. And that's why, in the wisdom of the constitution, they bring a court of appeal with 3 judges who can do due diligence to some of these things. You see, there is no perfect institution. There are procedural errors in so many things, and so for that matter, one can always get it wrong. So the judiciary is not a perfecto. So for that matter, there's a court of appeal. There's a place where you can go and seek review for them to look at it. Anyway, review here means they should look into it properly. It doesn't mean cancel in the NPP's language. When we were saying review of free education, we thought it was cancelled. No, that's not what we mean. So for that matter, we are looking at the fact of the matter, what was presented in court. We are just opposing it with the law, just opposing with common sense. That you say I have done something, you should be able to provide evidence to it. You took the case to court 2017, at least wait for the internal audit to even be done. And you maliciously went to the court, an official report of the market, fire incident was submitted to the CEO that the monies were actually given to the market women. There was no leftover. You didn't send that official report to court. So it means you had a hidden motive. That same Attorney General was caught on a call with Richard Japak trying to strike a deal. So I'm trying to understand on what basis should the woman be prosecuted for? To please who? The NPP? To please you? Of course not. We cannot do that. We are resetting the country, and we are resetting the judiciary, where rulings must be fair and firm to people who are really deserving of it. And so for that matter, because there is public uproar that she has been acquitted, it is by government. He spoke about protection. Every Ghanaian is entitled to protection under our laws. Yeah. The fact that she's a criminal doesn't mean she's less of a human being. Maybe perhaps you have some of some people who may want to harm her. You never know. Some people relied on hearsay. You go to town with hearsay. So my brother's not able to prove with facts, evidence. And that's the same shoddy work that his Attorney General did. And that is what they go to town with. He has not been able to prove that national security was around the woman. There was no picture, there was no audio. The fact that she was being brought, you said she has been sent home and brought to, what was the movement? What was the evidence? We should be able to uphold our public discourse in such a way that when we say something, it carries heavy weight.
Right. Lastly, before I move to Derek, what sort of precedent do you think this is actually built in? If the state is not able to bring alleged criminals to book, but rather make mistakes and then at the end of the day make these people go scot-free, because I learned that she can't be retried again unless the Supreme Court actually gives chance for the Court of Appeal to retry again. And then when it happens like that, and this is actually going to send a message that indeed the state actually did a very bad job.
And that state has been voted out of power. That is why the NPP must remain in opposition for as long as our democracy exists. The NPP as a political party have, over the years, have not utilized or made sure that this country really go forward with certain things. Because at the end of the day, you don't just go to court with hearsay. The court, they have integrity. The judges uphold integrity so much. They deal with evidence. They deal with so many things. I'm struggling to understand why, by hook and line, we must find faults in what the woman did. 78 counts. None of them could uphold the test of time. Like none of them could even stand a chance of, or a scintilla of, let me say, proving to be correct in terms of committing a crime. So what at all did we do to ourselves?
Right.
And so for that matter, the Ghanaians must be assured that this government has come to make sure that we do the right things. And that is why when you look at all our prosecution of the oral cases, they themselves came to the, initially when they came into power, they thought we were playing. Oral is dead. Or when oral is catching up in there, then they are crying foul, saying that we are haunting them. When you enter nolli prosequi of cases, it doesn't mean that, you see, I'm struggling to understand some of the reasoning behind some of the things. Because look, you must state what were the reasons for which they were nolli prosequi. What was the reason for the discontinuation? Was it just because you think they were party people, or because the nitty-gritty of the issues? You cannot send cases that are not useful to courts, cases that cannot stand the test of time or the test of law, and expect a due diligent attorney general to come and continue with such frivolous cases, wasting out the taxpayers' money and wasting our resources.
Right,
you must go to court with strong cases to make it. That's why our attorney general doesn't just rush to courts to make claims. We go with evidence and back it and get our conviction. And that is why I have the firm belief in Dr. Dominic Ayeni and his deputy, Dr. Sermisai. Due diligence have always been their core mandate. And when you follow all the cases, from the Hanan cases to the Miracles Abuaji cases to Wuntumi cases, today Wuntumi is doing plea bargain. Due diligence has been done.
Right. Thank you very much. Mr. Derek, let me hear from you. Now the issue is going to Supreme Court, and it actually looks like the minority have a problem with this. So what are your expectations? What should be the outcome?
I mean, I don't expect anything new because already, clearly, it shows that everything has been planned and they know what they are about. They know what they are doing. It's just that they just want to do something to neutralize the situation and to please the Ghanaians, because everything shows that this woman, squandered money that was meant for a specific project. In court, it was proven. And you are saying that somebody did surgery work. I don't believe that the court at the time believed or would have convicted the woman if she had done a shoddy work. I don't believe in that. And today, because it favors one or a staunch member of your party, you are saying that somebody did a shoddy work. And obviously, all the cases that the Attorney General entered nolli prosequi were cases that pertains staunch members of the NDC. So it shows that these people didn't come in to fight against corruption. They came in to protect their own.
So does that mean that the court is equally being a part of this?
I mean, they are doing selective justice. I cannot sit here and indict the integrity of the court. But what I'm saying is that the Attorney General was the one who entered into nolli prosequi of those cases. It wasn't the court. You understand? And so that burden is on the Attorney General. But I cannot see that with regards to the court. Just like what they did previously when they were calling the court names, we will not do that.
Yeah, but in your first submission, you kept saying they have set her free. They have set her free.
That has to do with the government, because all the machination, everything, the back stops with the president. You understand? So he will take certain responsibilities. But when I said I didn't call the court names. Like they were saying unanimous FCs and all of that.
Who said setting them free?
I'm saying that.
But who said setting them free?
To me, this is what I'm saying. That I believe that the government is behind whatever that is going on, because everything was planned.
Right. So if you keep saying this, what are you trying to insinuate?
So I'm trying to say that the people who promised on oral, the people who said they were going to protect or they were going to arrest people who stole monies of Ghana, are the same people who are in government today. And we are seeing people who were convicted or people who were standing before trial being either freed or they are allowed to bring in certain percentages of the money that they stole and also take certain percentages. That's what I'm saying. Because you can't promise oral and come in and do the opposite of it. That is exactly the point that I'm making. So when I say it is because they are in power now and they are doing what will please them. Exactly my point.
Masedina was sent to court.
I get it.
And the Court of Appeal says that
you
haven't been able to. So if you keep saying Sedinam didn't go to the government. Sedinam went to the court.
The case went to court.
Yes, exactly.
High Court.
Yes.
And then High Court found it enough.
Mm-hmm.
The reasons that were presented to the High Court found it enough reasons for her to be convicted. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And now she took it to appeals court.
The Court of Appeal.
Because a party came into office. Why didn't she do that?
So are you trying to say that the government is in the court now?
I'm saying that. Why didn't she take the case to appeals court when the MPP was in power? When after the ruling was given?
But Sedinam filed for an appeal in 2024.
Exactly. But she didn't pursue it. Why the rush now? She filed for appeal. Her conviction came in somewhere.
I think
no, it wasn't 2019. The case started in 2019.
Yeah, in 2019.
But I think the conviction came in 2024. Somewhere 2023, around 2024. That was where the conviction came.
Mm-hmm.
And then she she is now rushing to seek.
That was because hearing from Godfred Dami, he mentioned that he was not even aware of any appeal. So if you are saying that you are not aware of any appeal, but
if you go for an appeal and you want due diligence to be followed,
but the person that is even supposed to even pursue that is saying that he is not aware.
But
so why then do I still have to proceed and then?
Because he was not aware. If I'm not aware of something, do I pursue it? If I'm not aware of something, do I pursue it?
And you are now asking that why are they in a rush to pursue it?
Because she feels that her party is in power now. She has every opportunity available to her to go scot-free. I mean, I've given you instances of what they've done. And so everything shows clearly that her party is in power now. They do selective justice. So that's the basis. Because why would I take 1.7 million Ghana cedis and use 500,000 of that money and say that I'm being freed for taking about 1.2 million Ghana cedis? I mean, is that the nation that we are building today? And so today, if the current CEOs and the current appointees one takes away 1.7 million Ghana cedis and uses 500,000, it means that the 1.2 million Ghana cedis that is left, he can take it, because I mean, said Nang Tamaklu is a clear case.
But was it proven that indeed she kept the rest of them?
It was proven in court. That's why she was convicted. High Court convicted her based on that evidence. I don't believe that if there was no clear evidence enough, the High Court would have convicted her at the time.
Right. You know that when it comes to our legal system, you move from the smaller court to the higher court. And the smaller court has said that so and so, and due to this, you're being convicted. And then you move to the higher stage, which is the next stage. And then the next stage, which is the higher court, which is even higher than the small court, says that, oh, these are actually the faults I actually find in this, of which I think that if you would have done this better, maybe it would have been better like this. And now they have given their decision. Don't you think that in a way that was sort of like a flaw?
I will leave that to the conscience of every Ghanaian. That one I won't answer, because this has to do with court. Today, if I go and say something, tomorrow I may be arrested. But I'll leave that to
that is why I see that you keep dodging the question. If what you are trying to insinuate is that the court is being politically motivated,
so
it looks like you didn't want to answer that question because you are scared.
I leave that to the questions of every Ghanaian, because I mean, today you cannot speak your mind. I mean, when you speak today, tomorrow you will be arrested. I mean, a guy of us shared he's been through for the past 2 weeks. He didn't commit any crime. He just spoke his mind and he was arrested.
They said who he alleges should prove. So if you're able to prove that the court is being politically motivated, I think you'll be left to go scot-free. But if you're unable to prove,
so I leave that to the conscience. I leave that to the conscience of every Ghanaian.
So I think that it wouldn't be right for you to say that the day, which is the court, because the issue actually went to court,
but it is right for the government to say that they've imprisoned Wontumi for doing galamsey. If it is not right for us to say that the government freed Sednam Tamaklu, it is right for us to say that the government imprisoned Wontumi for doing galamsey. Is that what we are trying to say? No, because he sat here and said that they've jailed Wontumi for doing galamsey. Is that not the government? So if it is not right for us to say that Sednam Tamaklu has been freed by the government, it is right for us to say that Wontumi is in jail because he was doing galamsey, but then the government has imprisoned him. I mean, do we get it?
Yeah, I get it. All right, Mama, your last words on this before you proceed
but I
to the
think
next
that
topic.
the prosecution is the government, the Attorney General. The person that gives the judgment is not the government.
It's not the government.
It's the
exactly.
the judiciary. That's why we have various arms of government. You have the executive, you have the legislature, you have the judiciary. Everyone is doing their part. You understand? So at the end of the day, you must be able to prove as a government. We were in opposition and we were accusing one of your own of doing something. We came in, brought the matter to court, and made sure that we followed due process using our attorney generals who did the work to make sure that we secure our prosecution.
So it was the Republic against Wontumi.
Exactly. And so for that matter, when you also come and you're able to prove that some, you see, when you sit down to make examples that, oh, what if one of our appointees take $1 million, you must be able to prove that someone has taken something. You get a point. Don't just rely on hearsay that, oh, when NDC leaves power, any people will be able to come and get people who have, squandered money. You must be able to prove that someone has squandered money. If you're able to prove that, we are good to go. We are on level grounds. But if you're unable to prove it, and that is why, the Ghana Police Service, during your era, you used to tell us that Ghana Police Service is doing their work by arresting people who perhaps express their ideas or spoke their mind. So the Ghana Police is the same Ghana Police that is doing their work, or the Ghana Police have changed colors? No. So what are we saying? So if your communicators do not know how to communicate well, you have been doing communication, why is that you have not been arrested? Because you know how to say it, you know what to talk, and you know that freedom of speech also comes after responsibility, and there is no freedom of speech guaranteed depending on what you say. Today, there are certain things that if you say, you must be arrested. Today, if I said I'm going to overthrow the government, I must be arrested for treason. Because I want to overthrow the government. By whatever means you do not even know.
That's very interesting.
Of course, because I am saying it, meaning that I must be able to, I must be arrested because I am causing fear and panic in the society.
That is an interesting statement because
yes.
Under President Akufo-Addo, we had a lot of people saying that they are going to stage coup in this country, but we didn't.
People were arrested. Oliver Bakabama, demonstrators were arrested in this country
on the fact that he was going to stage coup.
Oliver Bakama was arrested based on treason. He was charged with treason in court because
he was never arrested.
He was arrested.
No.
He was charged.
So
he was charged with treason.
Oliver was arrested when he went for a demonstration.
No. Do you know the name of that Oliver was arrested under your era?
He was another arrested.
A Twitter post by Bongo Ideas. He got arrested in this country.
But he wasn't arrested on the fact that he wanted to embark on coup.
I'm telling you that Oliver Bakavama was arrested. He was arrested based on he was arrested and charged with treason.
Use the word must be arrested.
Yes, you must be arrested. You cannot say something and go
because we saw a lot of reckless statements that your people made.
But you arrested some of them.
A lot of reckless statements that they made in opposition.
I'm telling you that you arrested someone, didn't you?
Reckless statements that they made in opposition, but none of them was arrested.
The Ghana police. None of them. What
so 14th February 2022, Oliver Bakavama was charged with treason. Remanded for 2 weeks. So Oliver.
He was charged with treason because he made certain comments. Yeah. You understand? Me, I do not have a problem because during your era, people said certain things and you arrested some people. But don't come and sit here and prove like you are saint. Like the MPP never did it. That's why I'll have a problem with you. You did it. And so for that matter, if you are criticizing today, I'm looking at you who is criticizing us. The political party that is criticizing. You did worse under your tenure. You understand? You subjected people to so much, pain, torture. But Bongo ideas that were arrested in this country, what was he charged? Was he even sent to court?
Right.
That is the level of impunity you use our security apparatus to display.
All right. Thank you, Brima. Mr. Derek, do you have any last words on this particular topic before we move briefly to the next topic, as our time is almost up?
What I would say is that the government know what they are doing with regards to the Sednam Tamaklos case. It is clear to every Ghanaian with what they are doing. You promise oral and you are doing something different. So I would leave that to the conscience of every Ghanaian. We've seen the interest that Ghanaians have shown when it comes to this Sednam Tamaklos case, with every Ghanaian rallying support behind the conviction that was given earlier and not the current appeals court ruling. Right. So it shows clearly that Ghanaians are interested in corruption cases. And so if you promise oral, make sure that you don't do selective with oral, but you be fair with your dealings with oral when it comes to oral. So I will leave that to the conscience of every Ghanaian.
Yeah, Mr. Derek said he's going to leave that to the conscience of every Ghanaian to judge. We have a comment from Enoch Ake, and he says that someone found guilty of all 78 counts, and you sit here to defend her. Hey, NDC. So this is from Ake on the issue of Sednam Tamaklos. Well, she's been freed, but we still.
But he who is defending wound to me, who has been convicted there, he is not being seen as biased. He too, when he sits on radio, he defends wound.
You see the vim that he is saying.
I am saying no. Exactly.
Somebody has taken away 1.2 million.
Do you have evidence? There's no evidence. Only evidence.
On submission, you said that the woman used only 500,000 Ghana cedis.
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying that you people are the ones saying it. It's not the woman. You do not want the woman
people. That thing was sent to court. The court found it.
But the court is not. The court is not a perfect institution, is it?
Oh, come on.
Don't they? Why is okay? Wait. Why is me going to court of appeal?
So
no, why won't we go into court of appeal?
Even the court
if
of
you
appeal,
believe that,
have you seen the statement of the Attorney General on
yes.
regards to this one to Miss Case?
Yeah,
he has already made this pre-assumption. What statement?
No, but he has said it. But as it stands now, the onus lies on the court to side with him or not. So definitely
today we will see what will play out. We will come back here. We will come back here.
But even with that, you and I know that it is his own lawyer that has actually shot him right in the foot.
No, but I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that today the NPP doesn't.
We wanted to leave the country already.
I'm telling you that I'm really surprised that the NPP does not believe in judiciary today. During your era, you used to tell us that. During your era, you used to tell us that we should go to court.
No one in NPP has said anywhere. No one in NPP has said
anywhere
that
he or
she doesn't
but let's
believe.
look at this second topic briefly before we leave, because it's becoming unbecoming, and we've seen certain people picked up. We've seen certain individuals stressing that if you make any derogatory comments about their religion or whatsoever, it should be picked up. We've seen the Interior Minister also doing what he has to do, where we saw a video of one gentleman, a Muslim gentleman, slapping one of someone in custody, and that person has actually been arrested. Where did all this whole religious threat actually stand from? It's actually disturbing our peace, and if care is not taken, it's going to escalate and it's going to be a different story.
Yeah, I believe that Ghanaians, we are peace-loving nature. And so for that matter, we have been seen as a beacon of hope in Africa and beyond, where even when we have our neighbors, the likes of the instability in Cote d'Ivoire, even Burkina Faso, Togo, but Ghana still remains intact. It's because of the shared love, peace that we all enjoy and we share to each other. And so for that matter, we're able to tolerate each other. There are videos where you see churches and mosques adjacent each other. You see the Catholics, bishop, greeting the chief imam paying courtesy call. All those things have been able to, let us tolerate each other. When you come to political conversation, political parties, the fact that you support a different political party doesn't make you an enemy. We just believe in different ideologies, and perhaps we will have our differences, but that doesn't mean we should resort to assault, we should resort to attacking each other and all that. And I think that, many of the Muslim community, we have condemned that act by that man. That Muslim gentleman who hit the pastor. That is unacceptable. You cannot say you are defending the Prophet Muhammad and rather be betraying his example. That is not the case. The Prophet Muhammad never taught us that when someone does something bad, you lift a finger at the person. That is not Islamic. Islam stands for peace. So you who is saying that you are standing for peace cannot be seen to be causing mayhem. It's the irony of it. It's contradictory. So someone has been arrested by the law of has been caught up by the police, and he's undergoing the due process. I was even disturbed and seeing videos where they were even talking to him, that kind of intimidation and all that. That is not right. That is not what Ghana is known for. And so we condemn it under no certain terms. And I've seen that the Interior Minister, as proactive as he is, has made sure he has released a press statement for all the officers in charge to be held accountable, for you to watch on for this month, for you to lift a finger on the young man. We send our sympathy to the pastor. He should forgive the man. We will to also extend forgiveness to the whole entire Muslim community. Although the cause of his arrest was also due to certain things he also said. So I think that yes, which you see, that is why we need to really deal with this our freedom of speech issue. Yeah. Because it's not just about freedom of speech. You must watch and make sure that whether your freedom or your speech will be guaranteed to be seen as what they call offensive or not offensive. Because in our laws, offensive remarks are criminal. You must be prosecuted for certain things that you say that can cause mayhem, chaos, or whatever in our society. And so for that matter, we condemn it on no uncertain terms, and that we Muslims and Christians, traditionalists alike, and whoever, we continue to live and enjoy this our peace. Today we are experiencing this democracy in a very peaceful manner. There has been change of government at least 3 to 4 times over here, peaceful transition of power. All these things are a result of our tolerance, our political tolerance, our religious tolerance. So we need to, as a country, as a nation, as a people, be able to come to the conclusion that we are one people. I saw a post of a certain Malam saying that, before religion, before political parties, we were Ghanaians. And even before religion, we are human beings. And that is why even we have made sure that the laws of our country, the constitution, does not discriminate against anyone, irrespective of your tribe, your religion. Every Ghanaian must be treated equally and fairly. And so for our religious leaders, please, we beg them, whenever you are doing your preachings, whenever you are doing, you must make sure that you eschew that kind of, no matter how zeal you have for your religion or whatever. I mean, it is onto the next person who is hearing you to take it or leave it. You do not impose your religion on people, and that's just why I'm really surprised. This comments coming from the Muslim community. Some of them. I mean, when you come to the Islamic religion, before you join the Islamic religion, we have our what do you call it? I forgot the name. We have this thing you recite before you join the Islamic religion. You must pledge and you must make it known that you have not been forced to join the Islamic religion. If in case in bearing witness that there is no God except Allah and that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the only prophet, is the last prophet of Allah, and sharing the good message of the Quran. If you are seen to be seen as you are being forced to join the religion, we will not allow you to even join it. And so for that matter, every Muslim must make that declaration that indeed they are joining the Islam or the religion of Islam based on their own conscience, based on their own belief, based on their own willingness. And so for that matter, I don't see why we should be going about. I'm happy the pastor has been granted bail. We've seen the likes of Reverend Infitting Fojo and the likes of the Christian community also going to. And I think that the Interior Minister also arrested the person who has committed the assault. And you see, there is some kind of disinformation out there about the personality of the person and all that. We must, this as a country, to, as it were, stop discrediting our state institutions when they do their work.
Right.
They have arrested a person and they said, this is the person. Why must we go around beating about what? So it's not the peace that we are looking for.
So you see why these people need to be protected, and national security should be around them as well.
Exactly. When someone commits a crime, so at the end of the day, because you may not know what the other person also has the intention towards them. So I'm happy. Let us continue to enjoy our peace, and I mean, it is this peace that they'll be able to let the government of the day be able to continue its good works. We have the big push program going on. We have the 1 million coders program going on. We have the national apprenticeship program going on. We have the Ejumora program going on.
Right.
And Wednesday we were doing National Youth Forum for the youth of this country. We have done our National Youth Conference over the past 3 days at Ashanti region, making sure that youth participation in this government is key. And the NDC continue to show that we are the only political party that continue to give the youth the opportunity to thrive, to lead without any discrimination. And so for that matter, let us continue to enjoy our peace. And I think that before, maybe if you give us our last word, I think that when I came, I heard you guys speaking about the death that happened at Afanko. I mean, it's a very sad incident. It's very, very sad. Imagine this morning, someone, all you know, is going to your workplace. 23 lives have been perished in just a road crash accident. And that is, these people also have, I mean, what do they call it? Arms of people who were perhaps dwelling on it. So it's sad. We send our sincere condolences to the family, to the friends, and we pray that may their souls rest in peace.
Thank you so much, Prima.
I mean, when it comes to political differences, religious differences, in political space,
for once I was like,
it was never a problem to this country until when our brothers in the opposition decided to use it as a tool in their campaign. And I'll give you instances.
Oh my God.
run up to 20.
We've tasked not to make it a partisan something.
Yes, but I'm saying that it wasn't a problem in this country until when our brothers decided to use it as a tool in their political campaign. In 2016, they did the same thing to Kufuor when they started making claims that the NPP was a political party that didn't like Muslims. In fact, Honorable Collins Dauda was clear and made a statement that NPP are like lions to the Muslims and they would never like them. Honorable Eric Opoku in 2016 also said that any Muslim who aligns with the NPP is fake. So that was when they started inciting our Muslim brothers.
So that is where all this is stemming from.
And
because this actually started just recently.
And in 2020,
what you are
hold
saying
on.
Is
This
starting way back.
Yes, I'm telling you that it's a tool that they've been using, and that's why we've gotten to this stage.
So all these people that are involved in this violence, are you saying
you
that
allow him to make his point? But when I'm talking,
some clarification. No, I'm asking some clarification.
Let's be fair enough. I mean, when he's talking, he makes a whole lot of claims. You don't ask him questions, but when it's my turn, you try to interject me. I'm telling you that this is a tool that they've been using, and that is how come we've gotten to this stage, because it was never a political discussion. It was never a problem in this country that we will have political religious differences affecting our political system. They used it against Akufo-Addo. They said that MPP didn't like Muslims. Collins Dawda made it clear that MPP are like lions against our Muslims. Eric Opoku, Honorable, also said that any Muslim who aligned with MPP is fake. In 2024, they did the same thing against Dr. Bawumia, where Honorable Sam George called Dr. Bawumia a religious prostitute. They did the same thing against Bawumia in 2024, when they stood on stage and said that Dr. Bawumia is a fake Muslim and therefore he eats pork. Today, we are having a member of the NDC and in fact a member of the Hajj board slapping a prophet right in front of the police.
Oh, he's a member of the Hajj board.
Yes, he's a member of the Hajj board. And he's a strong member of the NDC. Slapping a prophet right in front of the police. And you know, I summarize this whole arrest in this statement that the arrest was like inviting Alhaji to an NDC program or a team program, and Alhaji says that he will not be able to attend, so he sent one of his boys to attend the program. That is what happened, because someone slaps somebody, Alhaji, and you go and arrest a different person. You take a picture of a different person to show us that this is the person that you've arrested. Meanwhile, the person that you arrested was not the same person who slapped the person. What kind of arrest is that, Ghana police? Pictures
flying about, they are AI generated pictures.
But it shows clearly that there's a difference between the person who actually slapped the Alhaji and the person who was arrested.
How
yeah, clearly when you look at the picture, you see it. What kind of arrest is that, Ghana police? and before that, even Oliver Baka made a statement that he's a big man in this country, of course. And that was how come Alhaji was not arrested, but a different person was arrested. And so these people are making these religious differences, they are bringing it into our political space, which is affecting the country. And we need not to tolerate that. We've seen the tone they set in 2016, 2024, and what they want to do going forward in the 2028 election. They still want to use this. And I think every Ghanaian must stand up against that, because Dr. Bawumia clearly was a unifier. Because he was a Muslim, but he was attending church programs, not just because he's a fake Muslim, but he wanted to unite the two religious bodies. But these people stood up against Dr. Bawumia, and the journalist, of course, Johnny Hughes, stood on Johnny's bite today. He cannot bite again. He criticized Dr. Bawumia for attending Prophet Adom Chedia's church. The person who was trying to unite the two fronts, they criticized him. And today we have Alhaji, a member of the NDC, slapping somebody, a prophet, for saying, for which reason we all do not know. Alhaji says that he spoke against their religion and what have you, but we do not know what he did. We have not seen any evidence of that. So I think that we shouldn't encourage that. And this is a tool of our brothers. They should put a stop to it, because it's not going to help any of us. Today he's a Muslim, I am a Christian, but we are all sitting here, we are having a political discussion. And so what they did previously is not something that they are supposed to repeat going forward. We should advise them on that. They shouldn't encourage that, because this is one of your own. This is one of your own, and Alhaji, of course.
Right.
So we should advise them to stop.
Right.
We are all one people, regardless of our political differences, regardless of our religious differences. This is not something that we should encourage. So I mean, every Ghanaian must rise up against it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining us right here on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. With the whole issue of religious differences, I think one worst thing we will do as a country, as an and as an individual or as anyone is actually buttress this with politics, it's rather going to deepen the division and it's not going to help us. Let religion be religion, and we shouldn't try to do it with politics. It's going to hurt us more as a country. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the show. We'll come your way same time next week. Enjoy your weekend.